looks as if that bike has a little bit more travel than his competitor, and I think that gave him a huge advantage getting up that mountain.
He was going up against Jason Samuelson, and there's plenty of different classes out here today. Right now it's a 16 rider bracket here in the Hooligan category. Win, you move on. Lose, you go home. Pretty simple format, but we've also got 250s out here, 450s Pro Open, some vintage bikes, a lot of racing out here today.
The thing is, I don't think they're actually going home. All of these hooligans are going to head over to the beach racing that's later on today and go again.
It was actually a figure of speech, Lance. I don't think that they're actually packing up their trucks and going to wherever they call their home. So that's what's exciting here. In this category, we're seeing them just take that first run up, but there is a second part to this course we'll be seeing a little later.
Yep, there is a second part. It's a lot steeper, a lot shorter run up. What I've heard is that the stock swing arm bikes are struggling getting up. You kind of need that extended swing arm so that you can really be on the front of the bike and not loop out.
And it's really neat too to see the variety of riders. So many of these guys we saw last night at Flat Out Friday.
Totally. So these guys, they raced all the way till 10, 11 last night.
Well, it's not just Lance and I out here in the booth. The third member of our team, Diana Dahlgren, is fighting the conditions out on the course. Diana, how is it out there?
You know what? The drizzle is starting to come down, so I'm actually going to go ahead and put my hood on. Hopefully it'll save me for a little bit. But you're wondering, why haven't we started the next heat? That's because Mark Hill, the last person to go up, he actually slid down the back side of the hill. The track crew is out there right now trying to get him up so that we can get this course reset and going right now. Let's go racing.
Yeah, you called it. So here we go. 3X taking on 19X.
Scotty 3X is actually an engineer for SpaceX when he's not out here racing. So these guys are truly hooligans, working the 9 to 5 and getting out and racing on the weekends.
It was Scotty Jones that's pulling up the rear.
And there you have it. 19X made it over the last jump, and he would be the winner of that heat.
So he will be moving on here in our bracketed challenge.
Oh, like old school hill climbing. He did not make it. It looks like he launched his bike, if you ask me.
Yeah, and that's the thing with hill climb. It's all hands on deck when a bike goes down.
Definitely. The track maintenance out there helping getting Scott's bike up. Those bikes are, you know, 500-600 pounds on that greasy hill. It's a struggle.
Guys, you know what? As the drizzle starts to come down, let's talk about these dirt conditions. I'm going to run you through this. As you can see on the course, there's light. You can see the dirt looking a little bit lighter, and then you're going to see patches that look very heavy. You guys, you might as well hop on a snowboard and start shredding the mud, because you literally will slip and slide down this hill. These bikes running with tires that are meant for a flat track are going to have some severe difficulties making it up this hill. We're going to see a lot of guys wiping out here.
Great point to be made, and right there, both feet off the pegs, slipping and sliding up the mud.
And it looks like Mishler is going to take the win. You know,
no, you know what? I think it matters when you pass.
You're right.
When you pass that jump, so.
So as Diana said, you'd probably have better luck with the snowboard. Let's not
look
forget
at that rain.
that this is a snowboard ski resort here in Little Switzerland. We're about 30 minutes away from downtown Milwaukee, or as Alice Cooper calls it, Milwaukee. And it's been a wonderful weekend here of the 115th anniversary celebration. But now that rain you can start to see is really coming down.
Yeah, you can definitely see the rain, and look at these riders coming down the hill.
Yeah, now it's chewing up terrain.
Yep.
We talked about it. Early on, we thought the riders would have an advantage here on this course because maybe it's going to get progressively muddier. But now I think the later we go on, you're going to see faster starts.
You are going to see faster starts. You're noticing there's some good lines kind of getting built up at the starting line. That's going to keep them tracked in and going straight, which is going to help keep their momentum moving forward. But you see this rain coming down, so I don't know how much that's going to affect the mud out there.
So it's 19X getting the hole shot early, but now 45 making the pass.
Oh, he's just on the gas. He didn't slow down one bit.
So they both split the moguls, but it was 45 that takes the win. And Flaherty will be moving on.
He made
the all-white kid on a muddy day.
He made that look easy. A little too easy, if you ask me, Brando.
Well, let's take another look. So early on, 19X had it, and then Flaherty starts to make his move.
It's really that launch that's really doing it, Brando, because if you notice, JJ did not hesitate over that second jump, which kept his momentum moving forward, which kept his traction up, and he was able to get right up that hill.
Hey, Diana, I know you're out there right now. At least on screen, it looks like the rain is really starting to come down.
Oh, yeah, it's really starting to come down. Umbrellas are out, hoods are on. Some of these racers are choosing to not start where the rut is. They're actually getting onto the grass top so that they can get better traction. So, I mean, you guys, with this downfall, we're about to see some carnage.
Yeah, we are.
So Hollis, 142, leaving no doubt about it. So Louders makes the pass and gets the win. Incredible, Lance.
Oh, so I'm hearing in my ear right now that actually the 142
that
did
Hollis
win. Yes, it is the jump that is the finish line. As soon as you clear that jump, which he did, and his feet came off the pegs, and it almost turned into a yard sale.
Good, just getting a little housekeeping in order. Want to make sure we are relaying the format as correctly as possible. But you know, it's the lines are getting so blurred. You see the rain coming down. But talk about that. Now that these guys have some wheel traction from the start.
Well, the thing is, the rain's coming down, and there are the ruts there, but like Diana said, they're actually kind of not using the ruts, because what I think's happening is the rain is actually puddling in there and actually turning into a mud. If it was dry, I think the rut would be the best decision. And look, these two guys are both going in the rut.
They're backing into it.
I'm not sure if there is a better choice right now with all this rain. I think they're just doing, you know, what they feel is the most comfortable. The one nice thing about a rut is it is going to kind of keep you in a straight line. Keeps your back tire going straight.
So here's Schruffler versus Hill. And these guys are neck and neck going into the terrain. Both of them avoiding the moguls, and it looks like Schruffler has the lead. Will he hold on?
And he's got it.
He does.
Oh, that's the biggest launch I've seen on a Hooligan bike yet. So good.
So the best head-to-head battle we've seen so far here today in the Hooligan class, and it's Schruffler taking the W. He moves on.
Here it is where he just took off on him. Look at this launch. Watch this launch. Woo!
How's the air up there, Jason?
Reminds me of some Evel Knievel stuff. JJ just launching that second jump.
Having no problem with this course. He really looks like the one to beat in the Hooligan class lanes.
And you know what's surprising is his suspension. Oh, his suspension looks actually the lowest to the ground. But he does not hesitate to launch any of those jumps. And you can see that that second jump, he launches it, and that's really giving him the advantage against the other riders. I'm wondering who's going to pick that up, or who's a little scared to take that on.
So we just continue to move on here at a torrid pace in our head-to-head matchup. Again, we started with 16 riders, and we're splitting it down to see who will reign supreme here in our Hooligan head-to-head class. But again, we're just getting started here with the Harley Hill Climb today. Still plenty of racing going to be taking place.
Brando, you and I had the opportunity of jumping on that ski lift, and we were kind of wishing that we could have announced it from the lift.
We were lobbying with our producer to let us actually call the entire day from the lift, just kind of going up and down.
Getting different angles.
They said we do not have the capability. And I said, okay, well, there's always 2019. Let's get ahead of it, guys.
Yep, let's get ahead of it.
What a view, though. And you see they get up. You're not allowed to take it down. A guy up there, his name fails me, kind of hooked it up and let us ride down on the lift.
Yep. So these guys coming up, they actually have to slide back down the hill.
Yeah. They don't even give you a sled or a saucer or anything. You just literally have to sit down on your backside and ride down the hill. So now you see the fans really starting to storm here, little Switzerland.
Yep. That's a great view right there. Look at the parking lot full. I'd like to be at that lodge right now.
Yeah, thank God we took an Uber here. We wouldn't have been able to find a spot.
Yep. I'd prefer a nice little chili bowl in that Uber,
in the
lodge.
chalet?
Yeah.
You're a lodge guy, huh, at the resort?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at all the ruts lined up right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines.
So there you see Hollis on the right, 142. He laid this course to waste on his previous run.
Watch this second jump. This really decides who's kind of winning.
Yeah.
And there we go, number 142 with the win.
Hey, Diana, as the conditions seem to worsen, it seems like these guys are having fewer and fewer troubles out on the course. How's it going down there?
Well, we have the best of the best now, you guys. We're down to the last 3 riders. 142 just won against the number 11 Scheffler. But now what's going to happen is number 11 is going to face the 45 of JJ Flaherty.
Ooh.
So basically, whoever loses right now against Scheffler has already taken 3rd. So now we're going to find out who gets 2nd and 1st.
Oh my goodness, so this is the one we've all been waiting for. Thank you, Diana. This is it for the win here in the Hooligan class. As we said, that 45 bike, JJ Flaherty, has probably been the most impressive out here today.
Yep, again, watch him on the second jump. He will launch it without letting off the gas, and I really think that's what's gonna take him to the top.
And it should be noted, he's been on that side for all of his races here in the brackets.
He must have qualified first, so that kind of gives him first gate pick. And with first gate pick, you get to pick possibly the best line.
So with this, the winner will continue on. There you see 45 Flaherty and Hollis 142.
Now notice Flaherty, he's actually wiping his goggles to try to be able to see.
Now you see him shrugging his shoulders. What's going on here, Lance? Hollis was setting things up. Now he walks off the course.
You know, I don't know. I'm up in the booth right now. There could be some complications. Does Diana know what's going on down there?
Yeah, hey, Diana, are you seeing what we're seeing? Hollis now just getting off the starting line.
Stand by, because I am trying to find out the details.
Maybe he's just trying to take a more creative start to this course.
Start a little further back, get a little more momentum on him. He's like, come on, that's not fair.
But again, Flaherty, and you see how muddy. I'm dirty just watching this. How Flaherty in the full white kit seems to be squeaky clean still.
Well, he's won all of his bracket heats.
Right.
He has not fallen.
True.
So virtually his feet are never really touching the mud until from the start to the finish. And he's not getting roosted. So, you know, that's how he's staying clean.
Well, if you're just joining us, we welcome you to the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration live from the Harley Hill Climb. Diana Dahlgren, what's going on down there?
Yeah, just getting an update from this scoring tent here. So 142, who was lined up, he just won that round. He actually needs to race in the next bracket. The loser of that round, which was the number 11 of Scheffler, he's coming over, going to line up right now. He's going against JJ Flaherty. Then the winner of this bracket goes on to race 142.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So
for the gold.
Wow. Okay, so Hollis said, guys, I'm already pre-qualified.
Yeah.
Don't make me go head-to-head against Flaherty right now.
So now Flaherty has to, you know, work his arms out a little bit more, work his bike out a little bit more. I'm not sure if that's going to hurt him or not.
The waiting game.
Here we go. They're lining up, keeping the bikes warm.
Like you guys were saying, JJ Flaherty might be the guy to beat here, you guys. He's a 2017 X Games gold medalist, Hooligan winner. He competes in multiple classes last night, and one that we saw him take the win in.
And they're off.
Yeah, here we go. So Flaherty looks, oh my goodness, they're neck and neck. It's all going to come down to this, Lance.
What I tell you, Flaherty, not scared to hold on the gas over those jumps. I mean, you saw his feet flying off his back.
He didn't have the start he was looking for, but he just sets himself so well on that line. there's no stopping him once they get to those moguls, and neither of them are taking that route, but that's really where he separates.
Boom, off the pegs. He regroups and launches it twice as far, 3 times further than his opponent.
Yeah, a really good point.
And one of the things to think about is their feet are getting very muddy down there, and these bikes aren't necessarily meant to be ridden in this mud. So when they hit those jumps, their feet just fly off. It's like ice.
Can I come back on?
I don't know if the rider's left line is just running faster or if it's Flaherty that's running faster, but there you see 142 Hollis. So now, as you said, Diana, he's already qualified. So who's going to take on 142? So this is Flaherty. So now Flaherty will be moving on, correct, Diana, to take on Hollis?
Exactly. And then another thing to keep in mind, guys, is Flaherty is lined up on the left side of every single bracket he's just raced. He is now, 142 has just chosen the left side, which is his preference. So now he's moving to the right.
I was just going to say that. And another thing to look at while you're looking at the starting line, their tires are now 4 to 6 inches deeper into the ground. So this could hold Flaherty back on this start. We'll see.
Will Riders Right be Flaherty's kryptonite? We're going to find out right now. This is the battle we've been waiting for. Hollis v. Flaherty. As Diana said, Flaherty so accomplished a gold medal at X Games just a month ago. Can he win it right here at the Harley Hill Climb?
Now Flaherty, like I said, his feet fell off the pegs last time. We'll see if he's going to remember that and try to hold on a little bit tighter for this setup tabletop jump. And let's see how much 142 launches that second jump, because I know he's seen Flaherty.
Hollis has been watching JJ.
Guaranteed. So let's see. Uh-oh, bike problems.
No, not the time.
I mean, these bikes have been put through the ringers racing up that hill.
This is not the time you want to see any sort of concerns over the bike.
No.
And of course, Flaherty literally just finished his previous run. You know he's coming off adrenaline right now. Hey, let's get this thing going.
Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. I mean, the runs are so short. I mean, what is it, maybe 20 seconds to get to the top?
Oh, I don't, and Diana, it looks like Hollis is switching out bikes.
Yes, so there is a rule. They are actually allowed to borrow a bike, so he had technical difficulty, couldn't get his bike running properly. He is now going to take over bike number 34, and he is getting the crowd going, you guys. And I know you can't see it right now. There are thousands of bikes in the parking lot, and this entire hill is lined with a crowd, and they are so excited to see this guy switch out his bike and see if he can take the win right now.
Yeah, there's no shortage of bikes. If 34 didn't come up, I'm sure he could grab one from the parking lot. What a win it would be on a borrowed bike if he can do it right here against Flaherty. Here we go.
Watch this first jump. Oh, feet off the pegs again.
Oh, Flaherty getting a little squirrely.
Oh.
Hollis has the lead. Can Flaherty catch up?
Notice Hollis launched the jump that time further than I've seen him do it all day.
And Hollis on the borrowed bike takes the win.
That's just an incredible story.
What a moment. Mere seconds before the final race set to begin against JJ Flaherty, who we thought was the favorite to win this thing outright. Hollis has bike issues, has to borrow number 34, and wins it.
Such an incredible deal. And to be the rider of the 34 bike down at the bottom, you got to be pretty proud knowing that your beast can make it up there.
What a moment. And that's really what this Hooligan circuit is all about, Lance.
No, it's all about friendship. I mean, you saw them at the top high-fiving each other. They're both stoked they made it to the final round. They're both stoked they made it even to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's Hollis with the win. Let's head down to Diana, who's with the man of the hour. Diana.
Congratulations, the number 142, but he is on the 34 bike. He just took the win with a sudden change in the game plan. You went from 142 to 34 for the gold round.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. The bike was running great for the last run, and then went to line it up, and it just won't fire at all. I don't know. It must be something electrical or something. Maybe something to do with the rain, because it was like the ignition was gone.
So you just took bragging rights at the 115th anniversary. What does this show the rest of the Hooligan class about you and what you've got to do on hill climb?
Well, I came from a motocross background, so it just shows all the hooligans that if you ride a lot, it doesn't matter what kind of riding you do. You can jump on a Hooligan bike and you can haul ass. And so it's a lot of fun, and I would greatly tell people to jump on a Hooligan, get a Harley or whatever. It's cool, it's fun, and like we do all these one-off events. It's great, and just have a lot of fun. Congratulations to the 142, Daniel Hollis. You want to say one more thing? Yeah, can I just say thanks to my sponsors, Milwaukee Harley, Fuel Cafe, Blue Moon Customs, WFO Racing Online, Von Zipper. This was an awesome show. Thanks for everybody tuning in, and thanks to Jeremy also for letting me borrow his bike, because obviously mine didn't make it. So thanks again. Pure talent here, guys. The 142, 115th Harley-Davidson anniversary. He takes bragging rights.
So it's Daniel Hollis. I wonder if we call that a split win technicality with Jeremy Hobus, the 34 plate. So if you're just joining us, to kind of give you a scene of place, last night was Flat Out Friday in downtown Milwaukee proper. Right now, as you can see on our beautiful map, we're at the hill climb, a little further north, a little further east. But our day's just beginning, Lance, because we're going to be hitting the beach later this afternoon.
I'm excited to go to the beach. The beach racing is trog, and it is something that is very, very historic in the motorcycle racing world.
So just like that, we move on to a different category. It's the 250 Pro timed event, and these riders get to go front and backside of the course, Lance.
Yeah, so we got to see some of the backside course during practice, and we haven't shown it live yet. It's a lot steeper. It's a very short run up, and I saw a couple guys on these bikes not able to make it up. So here we go. Do these guys have extended swing arms? I can't see from this view, but kind of looks like it. Yep. Diana, do you see extended swing arms down there?
Oh yeah, guys. So these are 450s with extended swing arms. I talked to a couple of the riders. You will see some 450s without the extended swing arm. It's just a matter of preference, but they do say that on the backside of the course, they will need the extended swing arm.
Yeah, so I ran into Jeff Wick when I was down there in the pits, and he's on a stock 450, and he makes it up the front just fine. But when he got to the back, he was unable to make it. He took a couple tries, and we'll see if he tries right now.
So it's the 450 Pro. There you see Drinkin versus Altafish, and Altafish having a little trouble early.
These guys are going to have to go through the moguls, if I'm correct.
Yes. So we'll see how it rides each line. And it looked like Drinkin just jumped out there a little early, and Altafish.
And there you have it, the number 12.
Makes it on the 12 plate.
There they go to the back.
Moving
now
on
they're
to the next
down
round.
to the backside of the mountain. They're taking the easy route there.
So again, these motorcycles.
And we take another look there.
A little less power here.
And they kept it close after the moguls, but you see the 12 plate just squeaking out the lead.
I'm not sure what it was. I think the moguls, they went into the moguls kind of side by side, and I think the moguls are really gonna separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Looked like Drinkin pulled out a little early. But again, that's only one part of it. Now we're getting this backside of the course. This is a little bit more of a truer sense of a hill climb. Not as traditionally steep as we see with most hill climb races. You get up really quick.
Well, the thing that they're dealing with right now is the muddy dirt. And again, look at the run up. It's one bike length, so maybe another 8 to 10 feet in front of their bike. They get up to speed. And then they got to try to gain speed as they're going straight up. And here they are.
And here we go. An Altafish leading, no doubt about it, easily crossing that line first.
And on the backside of the hill, it's going to be the number 12 once again. So he will push move on.
So with that, the winning the backside is what wins you the head-to-head. He moves on. So this is racing for seating right now.
Oh, so this is what's going to let them choose where they're going to start on the backside.
So 328 easily winning on that front side. But again, it really comes down to that backside, as we said, for seating purposes.
And again, Brando, look at how long those swing arms are on that bike. It's really helping them in conditions like this where they can stay on the gas and the front end does not lift up as easily.
So you can see
here they come into the moguls. Oh, did the 328 kind of, you know, take a little bit of a cheater line and exit out of the moguls a little earlier than he should have?
That's the one thing you got to keep your eyes on. I mean, that's not really being judged. I guess we're on an honor system at this point. But we saw that with Dricken, too, on that first race. Seemed like he got out just a little early.
So here we are. I'm curious what's going to be the line of choice throughout the day.
Right. It was riders right, if you're watching the left side of the screen, that seemed to have success early.
Yes, that is correct. And notice how long these bikes are. It's hard to even move them, and not to mention how wet it is out there. Could you imagine if they didn't have those wood planks behind it, and they were roosting the fans behind them?
So this is what matters most when it comes to seating. This backside up the hill race. Oh, getting a little squirrely.
Oh.
And it's 328 taking it. But that thing was wide open. And it was David Brandenburg.
Old school hill
taking the
climb.
win in that one.
With the paramedics helping 76 get up the hill. Now notice 76 was on a two-stroke. I wonder if that didn't help him.
Yeah.
Getting up that hill.
And just like that, we come back down to the bottom for the front side.
Absolutely. So here we go.
And we're off.
It's going to be
Head to head. Let's watch him in these moguls right here. Ooh. Number 914, looking great.
And it's Luke Sapala crossing the line first. He was going up against Nathan Preeb there on the 94 plate.
Last year in Pro Hill Climb Racing, making
Let's take another look.
Devil's Staircase, Orgonia, Ohio,
see Sapala
with a podium finish.
On that rider's left.
Watch him in these moguls right here. Feet coming off the pegs. They're just holding on.
That's what I love. I would say textbook, but I don't think there's anything textbook when it comes to this course in these races. You just hold on.
You're right. Now let's see which gate the seating winner chooses.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see if Sapala. We've seen it both ways.
Now notice also, look at the ruts on the starts. The ruts are now, from the rider's view, going left, which is going to affect them. If they go in there, they're going to go in that rut. So is he going to drop into the rut, or is he going to stay out of it? Myself, I would stay out of it. I would stay to the right of that rut, to the rider's right. We'll see what he chooses, though.
But none of those bikes are going to be here today. It would just be too tough to start those nitro bikes on the backside.
That's tough. I haven't been down to the bottom, but you see he just dropped into that rut. But now he's going to have to follow that rut. He's not going to get out until he's past it. And look at how deep it is. Look, his whole foot's dropping in it.
Sapala on the right-hand side of your screen. He has lane choice. That makes Nathan Preeb on the left-hand side, your underdog. And we see now that most of the riders favoring that right-hand side.
So see, he's getting out of the rut. Now he chose to be on the left side, which I wouldn't get on the left side because he's going to be able to fall back into that rut because the rut goes right in front of his direction. So I myself wouldn't have, but he has some reason. I'm not looking at the hill from his angle. Maybe there's a big rock on the hill. Maybe there's a big tree stump. I'm not sure. We're going to see it, what happens.
And we didn't see the Hooligans take this part of the course, so it just hasn't been ridden a ton for these guys to kind of get an eye on how it's riding. We've seen both sides have success early here in this class. And we're off. And again, Luke Sapala left no doubt on the front side and crushes that backside. He'll be moving on for seating purposes.
You know, a lot that could be making these riders win or lose could be bike gearing. It could be, does he have maybe a big bore kit, a better exhaust system, something that's making his bike more powerful.
So here's Mueller and Faldy.
Notice the two-stroke taking the lead right there.
Lane choice on the back.
That's an older Kawasaki, and you don't see those too often. but he made it happen right there. We'll see if that power band that he has to deal with will help him on the backside of the mountain.
So Josh Mueller, that 128 bike,
Here's the replay.
as you see early, stepped off for just a second, but that's where he really pulled the throttle and pulled away.
Did you see the second place rider getting roosted the whole way after that? That does not feel good. Imagine BB shooting you as you're trying to also ride your motorcycle.
No thank you, but he's still got one other side to race, so we'll see which side Mueller chooses.
Again, like I said, watch the two-stroke. This bike has a way different power band. It could be faster. It looks like a 500 maybe. It could be a 250. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not down there. And then we don't even know the size bike of this one. Could be a built 450.
Well, guys, you know, Josh Mueller has some extensive hill climb experience. I mean, don't kid yourself by the looks of that bike. It has a lot of raw power. That bike is the same one that was at X Games Aspen earlier this year. We did a feature with him and Harley-Davidson for the snow hill climb. And yeah, I mean, he is a guy to beat here today.
That's a really good point, Diana. You know what? Anytime we have a question, why aren't we going down to Diana?
I don't know. Why aren't we?
I'm sorry, Diana. So here we go.
Wow, I love that angle from the bottom.
With the upset is going to move on. He looks back at Josh Mueller.
So you think it was the two-stroke, four-stroke thing that kind of helped choose the winner?
Yeah, and on that side, no doubt about it. So Logan Sapala taking on Andy Heineke. 430.
450 pro class.
430 taking on Sapala's plate number. Oh my goodness.
Wow, that was the cleanest I've seen through the moguls. Look at the lead he has.
Oh my.
Look at the lead.
Wow.
And he's gone. He's not even looking back.
No way.
He's like, I'm going to win and keep winning, and then I'm going to keep winning, and I'm going to take home the gold.
Look at this again, Lance. As you said, Logan Sapala, maybe the best we've seen throughout that part of the course.
Moguls, no problem for the 895.
He wheel tapped one of those moguls. By the time he set his front end back down, he was literally already out of the moguls. Only rider I've seen do that.
With an upset on that backside, let's see.
So after Luke Sapala looking so good in his heat, Logan just laying that front side to waste.
He's dropping in the rut, and again, look at how low his tire is in that rut. That's, what does that look like, 7-8 inches?
At least.
And like I said, once they get in that rut, they just have to follow it, really.
Guys, you know, we're celebrating 115 years of Harley-Davidson, and of course, with that comes the hill climb. You know, this has been being done for over 100 years. You guys got to check out the Harley-Davidson Facebook page after you're done watching us live here today. Check out some archives of the hill climb. It's pretty spectacular to see what these guys did years and years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the oldest things we've seen here in this country. And Lance, you and I got to go check out the Harley-Davidson Museum yesterday. That was amazing.
Yep, and I mean, to think at the technology that these guys are riding on right now with the suspension and the engines and the power and the gear that they're wearing. Back in the day, it was, you know, a leather helmet. It was a bike with no suspension and chains on the tires to try to make it up a hill.
Back when you were riding as a kid.
Yeah, back in the early 90s. But again, it's just incredible how far this sport has come, and it's just a tradition.
But it always pays homage to the roots. That's what I love.
Always.
Even as the tech advances, the bikes advance, this is still one that will never go away. Nick Bronnenberg taking on Matt Altafilish, excuse me. Both of these guys looked good earlier in seeding. Altafilish showed no issues in our first runs of the day in this class.
Here it is. Let's watch the moguls. And Matt making it look easy. Getting to the top.
So after a less than ideal start, he finished that race the way he was hoping. Taking the lead, now he'll get to choose which side here on the second half of the ride.
Are we seeing something yet? Are we seeing the riders in the back when they go to the backside? Are they choosing a left or right, or has it kind of just been every rider's been very different?
Yeah, I don't see one side being favored or one clearly ahead of the other. Diana, are you seeing that on this backside of the course, one particular line advantageous to another?
Yeah, you know what? Earlier when you guys were talking about it, as the riders come down, I've heard a little hearsay about the left line on the backside being the favorable one. The right, apparently, the rut is so deep that you're kind of caught in it for the first 15 feet or so. But I mean, it's all about a preference. Some guys do really well in the ruts, whereas other guys don't prefer it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And notice this right here, number 12 is actually not in the big rut. He's just a foot over to the left of it. So he chose the right line, but not being in the rut.
And it's interesting because 12, Matt, was actually, in his previous race, was on the other side. He was on rider's left when he took the win.
Well, this race right here is what really counts.
Absolutely. It was for seeding. Now this is what we're looking for to move on.
Notice number 328, I believe that's Nick. He doesn't even have goggles on. Imagine getting roosted without goggles.
Yeah, I don't know. In the muddy conditions like that would be my choice. And they're off.
And the 12 prevails.
It doesn't matter what side you put Matt on. He's going to come out with the win either way. That's the way his day is going.
Yep. The 914 of Luke, looking great his last race. Another rider to keep your eyes on. Watch him in the moguls this time.
Yeah, Luke Sapala looked so good in his previous race. Can he hold on? Oh, Faldi taking the lead early.
Watch the moguls. Let's see if he can pull it again. Look at how fast he gets through.
No problem, Lance.
That is his section.
And Logan did the exact same thing.
Yep, but he goes, it doesn't even bother him if you're ahead of him. He goes, wait till we get to the moguls.
Number 31 bike.
That's been the great separator for the Sapalas out here today. And I love it, man. He's so quick to get to the backside. Yep. Let's go!
My heart rate is up.
Again, that's Luke Sapala.
So it's good. The rain has seemed to subside, but we take another look. This is what we're talking about, Lance. 31 takes the lead early, but Sapala cool as the other side of the pillow because he knows once he hits the moguls, there's no stopping him.
Just right through it. I mean, it didn't even slow him down. I'm wondering if the left side's a little bit easier.
Running a little quicker. Could be.
Now he is choosing the left side, it looks like. So we are not seeing that there is a left or right side that's
better.
Not at
all, yeah.
Last winner took the right side. This winner's taking the left side. He's deep in the rut. Notice his tires 6 to 8 inches down. He's finding neutral right now. Let's see what gear they click into. Are they running this up in first or are they running this up in second? Looks like he's trying to keep the neutral, but he just clicked up maybe second gear. Starting off in second, on the gas.
Yeah.
They're just staying in second the whole time.
Sapala easily taking the win there in second gear. And he moves on. So with that, Sapala moving on.
Diana, how's the energy down there with these riders coming back down, riders lining up?
Well, you know what? All I got to say is the umbrellas are popping out because the rain's coming back. And another thing to go over the bracket system. So it's going to be just like how we had with the Hooligans. There's going to be two guys that go up against each other. The loser of that first round is going to race the second round. And then the winner of that round will go against the first round's winner. So a little trifecta. 3-2-1 round.
It's tourney time out here. Wow. As you see Mount Altafesh. So he's back on there, the 12 plate. And just as I said, I must have said it, what, 2 minutes ago that I thought the rain had subsided?
No.
Wisconsin had other plans.
I thought we were here for the summer.
It's Labor Day weekend. But still, it's been an amazing weekend. We're obviously out here at Little Switzerland today. We were in downtown Milwaukee yesterday for Flat Out Friday. People coming from all over the world for Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration. We flew here, but I feel like we're missing out. We should have figured out how to get bikes here, huh?
We should have, that's for sure. One thing I'd like to point out is notice motorcycle riding is very a eye sport. It's just you out there, right? But all of these riders have a team behind them. Notice the man helping him with his umbrella, holding his goggles. You have a whole support team helping you keep your bike dialed in, keeping you ready to race, so you can just focus on your racing.
100%. We, not me. So this is one we've been waiting for. Altafish versus Sapala. Both have looked so good on this course here today.
Uh-oh, rain's coming down hard. And notice, 914's on the right side. Is he going to be able to do the moguls like he has been? Oh, threw him nicely.
And he takes the lead. It doesn't matter what side you put Luke Sapala on. He's going to come out victorious, Lance.
He has those moguls dialed. He is not scared to stay on the gas when he approaches them.
Diana, it just seems like Sapala has had no problem whether he's on the left, whether he's on the right. Even if he doesn't take the whole shot, it's all about the moguls where he seems to be taking the lead. Is that what it looks like down there?
Well, the funny thing is, you just said without him getting the whole shot, that's exactly right. It looked like he got tripped up on his gear right off the start. So I was a little shocked when he took it through the wind, but the mogul section is definitely where he's going to capitalize on taking this front hill round.
So both of these guys have looked really good on the backside, so I'm looking forward to this one, Lance.
Yep. Notice that Luke chooses the left side in the rut.
And that's what he chose last time, if you recall.
Yep. So he's in neutral right now. Notice the tether on his arm. That tether on his arm is an instant shutoff, so if he gets separated from the bike is not going to take off without him. Something that you would normally see on, let's say, a jet ski.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yep.
And here we go. And Sapala, it looks like it was a come from behind. I thought Altafish might have had the lead early.
9:14, your final.
But it was Sapala that moves past him.
He has definitely shown that he's the king of this hill. Now, I'm starting to hear the rain.
You guys, I don't know if you realize this, but 895, he's already lined up. That is Sapala. And then we have the 914 of Sapala about to line up against him. You know, are we going to see brothers going head-to-head here?
I was just going to say, did I hear Sapala?
Are we seeing double out here today?
Yes, that's exactly what we're seeing. Is Sapala and Sapala going to be in the final round?
So this is the round for third place, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So we still have a Sapala, and then, so Matt has to go against another Sapala.
Not Altafish goes, are you kidding me? I lose to Luke Sapala, now you got to make me go up against Logan?
Yes, and exactly right here. So if Logan takes this win, we're going to be seeing a brother standoff here.
Ooh. We saw Venus versus Serena yesterday at the U.S. Open. It is a weekend for siblings in sports. Could we see Sapala v. Sapala? Matt Altafish says, I might have something to say about that.
We'll see if Matt can regroup and get through those moguls a little faster this time.
For those of you watching live on Facebook right now and all of our channels, make sure you give us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking so far about the hill climb. Over 100 years, 115-year anniversary here that's going down.
Here we go. And it looks like Sapala takes the early lead, and it's the moguls where he's really pushed past the competition, and it's more of the same Logan Sapala.
Diana, I just, when you said that, I popped onto Facebook. Even though I'm watching it live right here, I popped onto Facebook just to check it out. I'm seeing people from all around the world watching this.
Yeah, we love to hear where people are from.
Yep, Tana Holm all the way from Finland.
Right now, we
this.
are streaming on thousands of channels live, guys. I mean, across the globe right now, they are watching the 115th Harley-Davidson anniversary.
Yeah, that is the power of Harley-Davidson. Holler at us. We're not kidding. Give us a shout. Tell us where you're watching from, and we'll show you some love here on the broadcast here today.
Yep, I'm seeing Camille all the way from Ireland. What's up, Camille?
Luis Gonzalez, I am here. You are here in Little Switzerland. All right, Luis.
I like that.
Goose Bay, Newfoundland, Canada, Derek Cleary. Keith Wenrick in Mesa, Arizona, we see you.
I want to know out of these guys watching right now, what bike would they ride? What bike would you rip up this mountain? Tell me right now.
So here we go. It's the backside between Altafish
Sapala will pair up against his
and
brother.
Logan
So
Sapala.
down there in the Harley shirt has to be extremely
It is the Sapala day. If your name is Sapala and you have a bike here today, you're probably in the finals.
I would say the Sapalas have been riding with each other their whole lives. They've been competitive, brotherly competitive against each other. I think that they're going to be smiling that they're lining up with each other right now. So we'll see how it goes.
More fans watching. Kearney, Nebraska, Kelly Dahl, what's good? South Padre Island, Texas, stand up. We see you, Karen.
Arwo Grunveld, all the way from the Netherlands.
Toms River, New Jersey, Doug Staples. Great to see such a global crowd watching here. And we've got brother v. brother. This is that storybook ending to that 450 class. Logan versus Luke. Who's gonna take it, Lance?
Oh! Here's the mogul section. Head to head.
Oh my goodness!
Head to head.
Oh,
Wow.
that was a photo finish, Lance.
Wow, I can't even tell you who won right now.
Logan Sapala just took that front round. Wow.
So it was Logan, Diana, that took it. I mean, they were neck and neck there.
That's Logan. Luke's little
Wow,
brother
that was
in
a
the light
photo
blue.
finish. Even watching it live again,
And man, that's the finish
need
about
to see a
right there.
photo.
So I think
One
it's
thing
gonna
we do know is their dad definitely taught him how to do the whoop section.
Got you. So they have been trained in the whoops, which is really helping them in the moguls right now, and it's shown from the morning they started.
Again, 895 plate is Logan. Luke Sapala in the 914, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Logan on the 895 and Luke on the 914. I mean, I wonder who's older here. Or are they twins? I mean, we're going to find out here shortly. I'm going to try to get some information on these guys.
Get both of them if you can. It'd be cool to see their reaction at the end of the
Oh,
race.
I'm sorry. You both are confused. They're actually not brothers. It's a pure coincidence that they're both Sapalas
Yeah, with the same graphics and the same bikes.
Logan versus Luke on the backside. Who will reign supreme? And it's the 895. Logan with the lead.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh!
Luke Sapala goes down.
Luke sending it just past the finish line with the lawn dart there at the end.
How about a race, fans?
And
Let's hear
Logan
it
is
for
just
the
like, yeah, I won. I'm going back down. I'm going to do my interview. I want to meet Diana.
Man.
I want to meet Miss Supercross.
Yeah, that's
She's down there.
incentive enough.
Making his way down here to the top.
So it's Logan Sapala, but Luke made it interesting earlier. As you saw, Logan really had to round out that line, Luke.
Let's go live coverage first. We'll try and get their audio.
And of course, Luke had to go for style points there at the end. Well, let's head down to Diana, who's with our winner.
Logan Sapala, the number 895. Wow, capitalizing off the mogul section. I keep calling it the whoop section. Amazing battle against your brother. Was a Sapala show off.
Yeah,
Wonderful. Well, I think we're getting a little bit of static feedback here in town. He's saying that it's going great for all you guys out here watching. For those of you watching live on Facebook, is there any last words you want to say to your brother?
pretty soon, so I'm going to enjoy it while I can.
Okay, well, congratulations, Apollo Brothers. I'm going to let you go the number 895. Let's see if we can get, I'm going to see if we can get Luke.
So Diana's hustling to get brother Luke.
Luke Sapala, amazing racing all morning. I've been saying that your dad must have taught you guys how to handle the whoop section, right? So how was it up there? And then also that last round, you just took a fall at the very end.
Yeah, the hill is super fun, and that whoop is like,
that's the most important part of the hill. If you get through there good, then you at least get lane choice. But yeah, on that top part, I don't know, I just think I hit a rock or something on the top, and my back tire just kicked out, and I just went right over.
Are you the younger or the older brother?
Younger.
Okay, so the older brother took the victory here today. When's the next matchup between Sapalas?
Probably next weekend, hopefully.
All right, well, big round of applause here from Little Switzerland for the Sapala brothers. Guys, we're going to take it back up to you.
Yeah, thank you, Diane. Just a super neat story to see both those guys. And we were seeing all throughout their heats and the brackets that they were probably the most impressive all day. It was fitting that they would end up going head-to-head there in the final.
No, it was great. I'm sure their dad was stoked. I'm sure the family was stoked. Everybody that's watching it from their hometown is going, wow, they both made it. Wow, they're head-to-head.
Yeah, and they made it so close, especially on the front side. That was a photo finish. I could watch that replay a few times and probably change my mind on who won that front side.
Totally. But, I mean, you saw him in the backside, and it was pretty, you know, that you could tell who won that one.
Yeah. Well, we're just getting started out here today at the Harley-Davidson Hill Climb. The Open Pro is the next ones. They'll also be hitting front and back here on the course. As you see the rains coming down here at Little Switzerland Ski Resort in Slinger, Wisconsin.
It's so funny how you look around and you see some of the fans out there. Some are in T-shirts, cut-off shirts, just a baseball cap. And then you see some in full, you know, snowboard jackets, umbrella. So it's pretty incredible.
Years ago, two men, William Harley and Arthur Davidson, had a simple idea: attach a motor to a bike. Little did they know that concept would give birth to a culture all its own. In celebration of an American icon, bikers have gathered from near and far to test themselves and the clock. Last night, spills and thrills ruled the oval during Flat Out Friday to begin this weekend's festivities on the shores of Lake Michigan. This morning, expect more as we go vertical. It's hill climb. Then, with no time to catch your breath, speed meets sand at the beach brawl, something the racing community hasn't seen in a century. So to borrow the immortal words of Steppenwolf, it's time to get your motor running for the Harley-Davidson 115th. What a day out here. Brandon Graham alongside X Games gold medalist Lance Corey, Diana Dahlgren out on the course. The Open Pro up next here at the Little Switzerland Ski Resort. We're just about 30 minutes away from downtown Milwaukee. Unlike the previous races where we're seeing head-to-head, this now our first category where we're seeing timed races.
So timed races will be interesting because they're going to be able to choose any location on that mogul section. So there's not going to be an advantage or disadvantage on, oh, I got stuck on the right side, oh, I got stuck on the left side. They're going to have a wide open course, no one roosting them. The course is all theirs.
Take the front side, take the back side, and we figure out the times from there. Of course, the rain has steadily been coming down all day. And you know the guys who are racing in this category, that being the Open Pro, have been keeping an eye on, obviously, the Hooligans earlier this morning in the 450 class. But for more on these guys and what's in store, let's head down to Diana.
You guys, the rain has started to come down heavily. With that is going to be coming some very slippery mud here. It's sticking to everyone's boots, a couple inches worth on these tires. With the Pro class, you're going to see some studded tires. It's going to add traction so that they can get up this hill as fast as possible for these timed runs.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We didn't see that in the previous classes with the studded tires. Now we're getting that out here today.
Now it looks like it's a Sapala again. And I wonder if he put studded tires on his bike, or is he going to ride the same bike?
Interesting. Logan Sapala, who took the win in the 450 class just minutes ago, is now getting timed in the Open Pro event. And again, if you're just joining us, thank you so much for watching. And we want to hear from you. This is just as much your show as it is ours. What do you guys want to see? What type of access Who do you want Diana Dahlgren to talk to? Let us know. Let us know where you're watching from. We love the international field of watchers out here today.
Will take the win. They definitely have to maintain each section.
So Logan Sapala, who's perhaps ridden this course better than anyone we've seen out here today with the previous classes, will be really interesting to see, Lance, what he does, realizing he's not necessarily going head-to-head right now.
Yep. Notice how much the rain is coming down. I wonder if the Sapalas are going to be a little exhausted after the last couple of heats they had to do, and if these other riders that are fresh, are they going to come in with more stamina? Are they going to be ready? Or is it actually going to be a disadvantage because they haven't been riding the track all day?
Combined time, front and back side.
And the neat part about this community is that it's all hands on deck. So many of these guys riding out here today at the hill climb. We also saw last night at Flat Out Friday some of these guys we've seen at the Hooligan races, whether it be their own circuit or even at X Games Minneapolis.
Yep, that's one thing about motocross racing is you are just all over the map, riding in different states, different locations, and it really brings everybody together.
Now I wonder for Logan Sapala, as we said, is he going to be a little winded? After that win, you're kind of riding off of adrenaline. Now that stopped.
Yep.
Gets a little colder, letting the rain hit you. I think he's ready to, like, let's go.
Yeah, he's been outside this whole time. He's been getting wet, you know, his arms, his gloves. His whole gear set is soaking wet, which is not going to help him. That's slip and sliding on the bike.
Looking at our fans watching, Rodney Holm, aloha from Hawaii. Hopefully the weather's a little better over there. Indian Springs, Texas, Kevin Vincent, we see you. Longview, Washington, Rick Harper. So keep watching us all day long. Again, it's Harley Hill Climb right now. We've got the battle at the beach later this afternoon. Excited for that one too. Don't go anywhere. Harley-Davidson giving you unparalleled action and access all day long.
I just have a guy right here saying, Mike Smith wanted to say what's up to me, so I want to say, hey, what's up, Mike Smith?
Yeah, what's up to Lance and Thrashin'? Okay. Monterey, California, Joseph Camacho. Jeffrey Steegman representing the Ohio.
Yep.
And again, Scotland in the house, Roger Foote.
I wonder all these places. Let us know. Is it raining like this where you live?
Yeah, what's the weather like?
Because I know a couple people were saying that they're from California, and I know it's not raining there. But one thing I just saw is Corey Sanko from Scranton, PA.
Oh my gosh, Dunder Mifflin!
Dunder Mifflin, dude.
Dunder Mifflin, this is Corey.
I saw Scranton and couldn't
because you can't help yourself. So we're having some, we're figuring some stuff out on the scoring tent. That's why you're seeing the delay. While we do that, though, let's check in with Diana Dahlgren, who caught up with some people, I believe, earlier this week in town in Milwaukee. Let's check that out.
Here at the Harley-Davidson Museum, it's a constant festival, a revolving door of thousands of people who share a common passion and a common philosophy.
I'm sure you get the same answer from everybody. Freedom, you're out there in the air. I mean, there's nothing inhibiting you, or you can feel the road, you can feel the wind.
To be a biker, you have to be resilient and willing to be flexible. You have to have a sense of adventure to be able to enjoy Harleys like you're supposed to.
To be a biker, you have to be free. It gives you the freedom to go out and do the things you want to do.
Something you really have to do. It's not something you can explain, really. It's a part of just the whole camaraderie, the family. You get on one, you kind of forget what your problems are, you forget what you've done all day. It's just a matter of realizing what you've got and enjoying it.
To be a biker, you have to be someone who loves to ride. I mean, that's the reason we do it. Something just kind of hits you here. It's just the rumble. I just love it.
I get tears in my eyes thinking about this one. It's a way of life. It's something I've been doing for 52 years. And once you get on a bike, it's so free. It's just a freedom that it's hard to describe unless you do it.
Freedom, camaraderie, way of life. There's no better way to describe it. Really cool that Diana was able to connect with some of the fans outside the museum. And we've seen it all weekend long, Lance. Everybody that we meet, it's just everyone's here for a reason, and they're all having the time of their lives.
That's totally it. There's so many parties going on right now. There's parties at the museum, parties right here, parties all over town.
We can't even get into our hotel lobby because it's blocked with bikes.
Yep, streets are blocked off, bikes are parked everywhere.
And there's so many people in the hotel that I actually got trapped in an elevator for more than 5 minutes.
Diana, I don't know what is up with you and getting trapped in elevators. I don't want to air old stories, but I believe you got trapped in an elevator at X Games about a month ago too, right?
Yes, I did. We made a sports center the next morning because there was 3 Olympic gold medalists on the elevator with me. We were trapped for about an hour, just short of an hour and a half.
Oh, that's my nightmare.
But the thing that you told me last night was there was 3 gold medalists and like 15 more people, so 20 of you in there.
Yes, there was about 20 of us in an elevator.
I wonder why the elevator got stuck. We're getting off the rails, though. If you're watching, you're checking out the Harley-Davidson hill climb from Little Switzerland Ski Resort here in Slinger, Wisconsin. Brandon Graham and Lance Corey in the booth, and the fantastic, the incomparable Diana Dahlgren just bearing out the conditions out on the course. And Diana, how is the rain? Is it still coming down? Any sort of clearance out there yet?
No, guys, not yet, unfortunately. It's not pouring like it was, but there's a light drizzle coming down. It's going to make for some great racing out here. Like you guys said earlier, the 895 is currently lined up, ready to go for his timed run, but they are working on some technical issues we're having on the backside right now. But you know what? This is just a wonderful celebration. Like I said earlier, the parking lot has thousands of Harley-Davidsons. Loads of people have driven 30 miles north of downtown Milwaukee to come up here to check out the Harley-Davidson hill climb. And like we've been saying all morning long, is that this is a century-long event. This is what Harley-Davidson was built off of. This was one of the first sports that they came out here in the early 1910s. And the museum in downtown Milwaukee shows some amazing things depicting a hill climb 100 years ago.
And if you don't have a dirt bike to get up the hill, there's always the chairlift.
My favorite route. Actually, no, I do want to ride up that hill.
Well, there's no shortage of bikes, Lance. If you want to take a break from the booth, you can get out there.
So you can handle this?
Look at this, huh? Will any of these work?
Oh, man, I'd love to ride that gray Battleship CVO right there.
How about you guys watching out there on Facebook? Any particular Harley out there catching your eye?
There's a lot of bikes out there.
Jake Berg, send it already. We're getting there, Jake. I promise you we're getting there.
The thing that's cool about being on a bike, and the reason why I love it, is if you're here on a bike, you're getting anywhere you want to go.
Yeah.
You're in a car, you're getting jammed up.
Well, that was why you kept hearing it time and time again in that feature where Diana went and met with some of those lovely riders outside the Harley-Davidson Museum. Freedom was a word that kept getting used over and over again. It might sound cliche, but there's no truer sense when you talk about jumping on a bike.
You're right.
So while as we continue to wait here with some of the scoring things getting worked out, let's head down to Diana, who's with 895.
Yes, I'm down here with the Sapala brother, and I was just thinking what a great idea it would be to go over some of the features on this bike to show you guys what is going to be racing up this hill. So, Logan, right? There's 2 of you. I get you confused. So let's go over your motorcycle. Tell us what the key differences are for this class versus the hill.
Yeah, these are totally custom frames that are hand-built. Like, this one was hand-built by my dad and Mike Bronk. And just bike motor out of a BR 1125 or a Buell 1125. Then we put a 1190 big bore kit in it. Custom tunes, custom exhaust, custom airbox. I mean, pretty much every part of them besides the suspension is 100% custom.
Is this type going to play a key role in the traction getting there?
Yeah, definitely. Like a paddle tire right now would be really skaty because the ground is so hard and slippery. So I went with a knobby. It should get a little better hook, but not quite as good as the metal.
So where are you and your family from?
Ellsworth, Wisconsin. It's about 45 minutes east of the Twin Cities in Minnesota.
Okay, so it wasn't that far of a drive. We have some of your competitors who've driven, you know, from Arizona, California. Is hill climb very prominent here in Wisconsin?
Yeah, right where I live is about the strongest amateur district or amateur scene that hill climbing has, and they're all really fast guys.
And this is exactly why we didn't take the win in the class before this one. So we're going to get ready to get these things going. I'm going to get you suited and booted so that we can take off. Guys, that was the key difference, is hopefully you heard all that from down here, and we're going to get ready to go racing.
Yeah, thank you, Diana. So, as Logan said, this is no accident. The reason he's having success and also his brother is having success out on this course. This is what these guys do.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier on in the race, is that you got a lot of guys out there with more stock-ish bikes, and then you got a lot of guys out there with pretty rad custom-built bikes like his. And I think that's going to help a lot. It's going to help quite a bit, to be honest with you, because it virtually is a drag race.
So after seeing Logan take the win going head-to-head against his brother Luke, we now enter the category where it's strictly timed races. Each of the riders getting to go front side and back side here today at Little Switzerland Ski Resort.
Barbecue's flamed up, burgers going. You could just see it getting muddier and muddier. Brando, what do you think? You think you can make it up the hill?
No doubt about it, partner. Are you challenging me?
Not a challenge, more just, you know.
You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We don't have bikes. And while we wait for this, maybe we can put the headsets down. Why don't we just run up this thing?
On our feet.
No, I was thinking doing handstands up there. Yes, on our feet.
Okay. I mean,
it's a timed run. We don't even have to go head to head.
I'll take the chairlift.
That's your
all right, here our bike started up.
I think we're ready to roll. So after that wait, Logan Sapala ready to kick things off here in the Open Pro timed event.
Oh, wait a second. This is a different bike than he was on before.
You're right.
Way louder. You hear that?
Yeah, this thing's purring.
And I know he just...
And here he goes. He's had no problem with this course in the head-to-head. Will we see more of the same here in the timed portion?
So he slows down quite a bit because it's such a powerful bike, and the engine's probably so heavy that he didn't want to carry too much momentum into it. So a 13.589.
So it's a combined time between the front and back side. He goes 13.589 on the front side. As you said, having to square this thing up and go right down the middle. Probably slower in the mogul section than we've seen him all day.
Yep. Again, the thing is he's setting the mark right now. He's the first rider to set a time, so we're not even sure is a 13.5.
Yeah, we have no idea to give sort of a frame of reference of what that means. But I think given Logan's prowess in hill climbs, his experience in this circuit, the fact that he's doing it right now, to me that feels like probably a pretty good leader of the clubhouse type of time. So Diana, we saw him there finally on the time portion. We got ready to roll. Is he on a different bike now, Diana?
Oh yes, like we heard earlier when I was talking to him about his bike, this is a completely different bike, built, I mean, from the nuts and bolts all the way up to the top of the engine. But this is our silver medalist from Exton's Aspen in the hill climb.
Oh, that's right. For those who didn't watch, as we await his time on the backside, we did the Harley-Davidson snow hill climb that Lance, myself, and Diana were all a part of. As many of these guys we're seeing out here today actually took their bikes and rode up the super pipe. So there you see 2.619.
So I heard something about a 16 second.
Yeah, so the combined run one score coming in time, a 16.208 for Logan Sapala. The bar officially set. So it's 127.
Here's the mogul slowing down a little bit. Getting through him. Oh!
And Lloyd Mueller getting hung up in the moguls, and the bike goes down.
Like traditional hill climb, they don't always make it to the top.
You will get another crack at this. This is round 1, but not the way you want to kick off your first attempt, especially in the timed portion.
No, it is not. Your confidence goes a little bit further down, a little bit more nervous next round.
So let's see where it goes wrong, Lance.
He goes in and you notice his frame, he stalled.
Yep, he stalled.
He stalled, and then his frame hit it and just wasn't going to help. So he slowed down a little too much. Maybe he wasn't in a low enough gear.
So the question I have is, this is obviously a throwaway, on the front side. When this occurs, do you even bother about the backside, or do you just wait for that second attempt?
I would say that your time's already basically null and void, and really no point in wasting. You'd have to ride to the top, so no point in wasting the energy getting there and having a time that doesn't really.
Mueller's asking, well, can you just count my backside? I think that might be a pretty decent time to beat.
Yeah.
So here's Logan Peterson out of River Falls, Wisconsin. Again, Logan Sapala with that 16.28 combined time.
Setting the mark.
Is who is to beat early on.
Now this bike looks a little bit more traditional.
It does.
Diana, from where you are, can you see what kind of bike that is?
Yeah, I mean, it is customized, guys. The engine does look different than what the Kawasaki. That definitely does not look like a stock 450 Kawasaki motor. Huge swing arm. I mean, fender in the rear. I mean, and I don't know if you guys can hear it from where you're at, but this motor is very deep in sound and very unique.
Just as you started to talk, it sounds like you started it up and you can hear it. And now that we're getting a closer look at it, yes, that is definitely a bigger engine, definitely a long swing arm. See, you're getting a good view down there.
Yes, I am. You guys are missing out on all the fun down here.
Yeah, Diana, I don't know why you're complaining about the conditions. You have the best seat in the house.
You guys, I've been snowboarding on the mud the whole day.
Mudboarding.
Mudboarding.
Looks like the rain's calmed down a little bit. I don't see it in the screen as much. How is it for you down there?
Yeah, there is still a light drizzle coming down, but you know what? You guys are in a nice, comfy area watching the races here, and then so is everyone else that's watching us right now. They're on Facebook Live watching the hundreds and hundreds of channels we're streaming live on right now through Harley-Davidson. It's the 115th anniversary. It's a very special weekend. This weekend only happens once every 5 years where we celebrate the birthday of Harley-Davidson. So a huge shout out for HD for having us out here and all these people here to watch. It's just an amazing weekend so far.
100%. Again, if you're just joining us, we want to hear from you.
Now notice he went to the backside of the hill, so he is going to hit the backside. I'm not sure if he took the chairlift up there.
So Mueller is taking the backside. Okay, so interesting. I will say we'll get to the competitors list eventually, but it is truly a family affair out here in this pro open time class.
So I'm not sure how they're going to score that, if he's doing it just for practice so that when he comes around again.
So I am getting note right now from our scoring and research department. They are giving him a run one time of 60 seconds. So even though he will get another chance, in order to complete this backside, basically if you do not finish that front side run, for whatever reason you drop the bike or can't complete it, you're getting a 60 seconds. So now you're tacking on to 60 seconds on that backside. That's what's going on with Mueller.
That makes sense, because if another rider doesn't make it up, there's something to kind of judge in who's actually getting last place.
So we've got 2 Muellers out here today, 2 Louders, and 3 Sapalas racing in this list.
He had a misshift right there.
And he's off.
Nice run. I'm not sure. Oh, they gave him a 2.7.
So 2.7. Now remember, Logan Sapala put down a 2.619 on the backside.
So he's a little bit behind right now. Logan obviously setting a pretty high standard.
So with that 60 automatic on the front end, that gives him a total combined run time of 62.792. But we move on to Logan Peterson in the number 16 bike.
Switzerland Ski Resort. the epicenter for hill climb racing today. And I'll tell you, I love the rain. It just, man, it just feels good out
AJ
here.
Harnack, less talking, more riding. Say no more, AJ. We're just going to lay out. Mark Peeler, what's up from North Carolina?
I'm liking seeing these happy birthday comments. Medina saying happy birthday, Zandra saying happy birthday. Definitely happy birthday to Harley-Davidson. Can you imagine starting a brand and leaving a legacy like this for 115 years, and it's gonna keep going.
Such a heritage brand. We were talking about it off air yesterday.
He's off.
Here we go. Logan Peterson on his first run.
Here's the moguls. Let's see how he does. He gets through him though. Back on the gas.
So we'll see what that front end time comes in for the 16 bike Logan Peterson. And it's a 17.279, I'm being told.
As Kirk Mueller lines up out of
So a little more than a second slower than what we saw out of Logan Sapala.
And you know what's kind of cool is the diversity of motorcycles that you see out here.
Michael Crowell, hello from sunny SoCal.
We'll be there soon.
Hey, Terje Martinson, hello from Norway. What's up?
So now he's walking the bike down. It's getting so muddy down there that he's feeling more confident, you know, pushing it down.
So a 17.279 on the front side.
That's going to put him quite a bit behind Logan.
Already, that's 4 seconds slower than what Logan did on the front side. That's actually slower than Logan's combined run time.
Yep.
And he's still got another side to go.
Hey guys, I'm not sure what this, I'm gonna actually end up finding out about it, but there are charge up stations down here next to all these bikes, and when 16 was about to take off earlier, it looked like his dad was giving the bike a charge, possibly to start it. Lance, would you know anything about that?
Yeah, so these engines are so powerful that, so big that they don't have kick starts on them, and I believe they also don't have electric starts. So they actually need a machine that'll come up and start the bike for them. And you can see one right there on a dolly, that red dolly. That actually starts their bike up for him. So I think that right now he's a little worried he doesn't want his bike to stall, otherwise he could be kind of stuck at the bottom of that mountain without that starter that you're talking about.
Yes, that's exactly what I was seeing. Okay, great. So yes, his dad did just start him up down here, and like you just said, they are going to want to avoid that for any kind of race delays as the rain starts to absolutely pour down here.
I was just going to say, it's really coming down now.
Look at the tires caked with mud. They look like mud balloon tires right now. And again, that rut's even deeper than it's ever been.
And the 16 bike, Logan Peterson on the backside.
Yeah, I guess
making it to the top.
3.454.
Add that up, we'll get I should just pull my calculator.
Yeah, I was told there would be no math. So that comes out to a 20.738. So still Logan Sapala, leader of the clubhouse. Keep those comments coming. But the 49 by Kirk Mueller
launches it right through the... Oh!
No!
Tank slapping.
So he gets through the moguls and then gets squirrely right out of the exit.
Let's see how that did on his time, but I will tell you what, he was not scared going into the moguls. 15 seconds to get up the hill.
Again. Logan Sapala still leading that 13.589 on that front end. No one's been able to touch him there. Kirk Mueller could have made it interesting had he not had trouble out of the mogul section.
I see somebody antagonizing me on Facebook saying, Brady says, I see how it is you guys don't want to read my comments because my last name is too intimidating.
All right, Brady, let's give it a shot. Brady Brishagella.
How'd we do? Let me try it. Brady Brishagella.
Shout out guys from Australia, Adam Newton. Seen a lot of people watching from Michigan. Love that. Pittsburgh, PA. Trisha, what's good? Keep the comments coming all day long. We're going to be giving you action from the hill and, of course, from the beach a little later this afternoon. Lance and I are really excited to get out there.
Definitely. I want to see some comments. I want some questions. Ask us about some answers that we need to do.
So here's Mueller on the backside, and he shows no problem there, getting up real quick. Interesting to see. Hey, I was saying, I think you and I go to the beach. Should Diana stay here and do the sidelines for the beach races from the rain out here?
You and I work great as a team, and she works great by herself, and she could probably handle
Diana,
it.
why don't you stick around the hill, and Lance and I will go to the beach a little later.
You know what? That sounds like you guys are excluding me from our family festivities today, and I don't like that. I'm hopping on the helicopter with you as soon as these races are done, and we're going to fly down to the beach.
So here's Louis Louders, and it should be noted, I'm waiting on Mueller's back time, but I heard it might have been even faster than Logan Sapala.
Louders right there. He took it very mellow through the moguls. His bike, you could tell it was fast. He was hauling butt going up, but as soon as he got to those moguls, it definitely slowed him down. Check it out right here. Comes up to the moguls, puts his feet down a little bit, has to slow down. Kept the bike running.
We saw the Louders brothers in Aspen.
Yes, we did.
The X Games Aspen back in late January.
They're at a West Bend Harley-Davidson, which is actually a local Harley shop to the area.
Rich Luciano, my 5 wives and 23 kids in Utah love this. Bob Snutherly, we want to see Diana at the beach. All right, Bob, we'll bring Diana to the beach. Diana, you can come.
You know what? That's because give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. I think they want less Lance and I, more Diana Dahlgren.
I don't know why
beach.
you guys are still talking at this point.
So we're still waiting on some of these backside times.
Hey, look at that. Brady says, whoever tried my name last got it right.
Oh,
your boy.
That was Lance Corey, X Games gold medalist.
And a spelling
linguist specialist as well.
Robbie asks, so it's a dirt bike with a Harley motor. Yes, a lot of these bikes are custom made, and they're having street engines in them. Diana, what do we have going on down there?
You know what? There's a lot of things happening down here. What I will tell you is happening right now is that people are running into the chalet to get out of the rain, and then if they don't have, most people though are throwing on ponchos, and actually guys, that's what I'm getting on. Next time you're gonna see me, I'm gonna have a Harley-Davidson poncho on because it's just pouring down here.
Charles Anderson, first time watcher, long time Harley rider. Love to hear that. Welcome, Charles.
And Latowers makes it up there without a huckabuck, making it look easy. Let's see what his time is.
3.62 on the back end. So again, Logan Sapala is still leading with the combined run times, and that's what matters most, that 16.206. Kirk Mueller right behind him with that 17.372. It should be noted as we move on in this contest, Kirk Mueller has the fastest backside time with 2.3 on the dot.
I'm reading one right here. Scott Bowling, he's saying, remember doing this stuff as a kid, I wish I still was. We had a rider last night, 78 years old, win his class in the flat track races.
Yeah, I saw that guy. That was amazing. He looked just like Regis Philbin.
It's never too late, people. It's never too late.
So here's Luke Sapala, much like brother Logan, having no issue with the front side. His time coming in 15.085.
Watch this again. Watch him through the moguls.
Yeah.
He was crushing the moguls on his 450.
So the younger of the Sapala brothers, who lost to his brother in the previous class final.
Luke on a Harley-Davidson
some ground.
On 914. So 15.0.
Brady's local. Brady's saying he might have to stop by and say what's up.
Brady, come on through.
I see some people asking what size Harley-Davidson engine is it. There's a variety out there. I have seen some 80-inch Evos. I've seen this is a Sportster engine right here, 1200 cc's, but these bikes are built. You can hear them. They are definitely fast. I'm not sure what they have them, built up to, but 1200 plus cc's, that is for sure. And you can imagine they were just on 450 cc's, so over double the power.
Dylan McClellan. Hey guys, it's a nice 90 degrees here in Florida. All right. Dylan, you don't have to rub it in.
On that Harley, a time of
So Luke Sapala really picking up where he left off in the previous class. That backside time actually beating older brother, a 2.391. Still a second slower, though, when you combine his front time score. But again, the Sapalas really the ones to watch. And there you see the rain coming down. We move on, though. Dan Louders.
Oh! Just like old school hill climb. All or nothing right there with Dan Louders.
And Dan got shook.
Let's hope that Dan's all right. I can see that he's breathing, and I think he's just laying there in awe.
Yeah, I
no
think he might be,
on.
No, let's watch this right here.
Oh.
Yeah, he goes
definitely got the wind knocked out of him right
hard
there.
on the wrists, and hopefully he's just mud angeling down there. He's up on his feet. That's good to see.
So right there, Dan's got a Evo Harley-Davidson engine in it. Something that was built more in the 90s. But I have seen that bike, and it is definitely built. Woo! That bike took him for a ride.
Lonnie Richter, the brothers own the hill today. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Sapala's looking so good out here. So with that, of course, Louders unable to finish the front side. He'll get that 60 seconds automatically tacked on for his front end run time, and he'll get a crack at that backside.
Hill support right there to get Dan off the mountain. You can see their shirts starting to soak. Look at the tire covered in that mud.
Just caked that back tire, my goodness. So he's riding, it looks like he's riding down, Lance.
Yeah, I wonder if he's not going to make it to the top this time. He got the wind knocked out of him. He hit the ground pretty hard.
Love from Italy, ciao. What's up,
Fabrizio? Come on. My man Brando about put his face in my phone to try to read that.
I mean, to be fair, we don't have a laptop open. We're watching from your very small iPhone that's in front of your face.
I'm sure a lot of people are watching.
That's why I was mispronouncing our buddy's name, Brady's name. I just couldn't see the font. We move on to bike 128, Josh Mueller, not to be confused with Kirk Mueller, who currently has the second fastest time of the day, behind Logan Sapala.
Is anyone going to be able to beat Logan?
Yeah, could Logan go 2 for 2 out here today after taking the 450 class? Joello Olivio, guys, come to Puerto Rico. Like Lance and I? Because we'll do it.
Look at him start the bike. So he had that machine that...
Yeah, this is what Diana was asking about.
That just started the bike, and you heard it just like right there. It was gnarly.
Another Mueller is about to head the hill. I don't know if you guys can see me, maybe out your little window, but I am fully ponchoed out right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we can't see you on screen, but I just looked out the window of our booth, and you've got a fluorescent poncho on, and he's holding on. Whoa!
Take it easy, take it easy. Oh, misshift. Let's get it into gear.
Lance, he was flying to start that run out, just holding on for dear life.
Every obstacle had his feet flailing.
Yeah, pin it to win it. Brian P. O'Connor couldn't have said it better. 20.324. But man, he made it interesting right as he started that mogul section.
Yep. Watch this. Feet come off the pegs. Off the pegs, off to the side.
Oh my goodness. Can we just shout out to Cliff White right now? I snow skied Little Switzerland, which is where we are right now, while in high school from 64 to 68.
Loved every run.
We're talking 54 years ago, Cliff was out here. on 2 planks, putting it down in Little Switzerland.
On 2 planks. I wonder if he ever imagined that 50 years later he'd be watching Harley-Davidsons rip up this mountain.
Cliff White, God bless you for watching, man. So 128. Josh Mueller trying to take on this backside after posting a 20.324 on the front end. Getting questions here. How many different classes are there? Right now we're in the Open Pro. Of course, we had the 450s earlier. There was the Hooligans to kick off the morning. So this course has seen a lot of bikes on it here today. And now we're seeing with every bike on this backside is going to need a little assistance getting into place.
Here he goes. Notice the shifter's kind of sticking straight up.
Opted for a little bit more of the scenic route as he goes left, but is able to hold on.
That's the rut's actually kind of pushing him to the side, so he must have dropped into somebody else's rut that he wasn't ready for. Kind of bucked his bike out. He stayed on the bike though, stayed on the gas, and he made it to the top. So I know that slowed him down quite a bit though.
Yeah, so still a decent combined score for Josh Mueller, 24.109. Again though, Logan Sapala still in the lead.
Now notice this bike right here. It's kind of a morph between a sport bike and a dirt bike. I think he's going to struggle with that big engine through the moguls.
So this is the 99 bike, Jason Heineke.
Looks like he kind of went around it, but he might have still been in the cones. Oh, he's just slide.
Yeah, he's having his struggles on the front side. Just lays it down past the finish line.
That's going to be a heavy bike to lift up with that grease.
Cody. So Cody Pearson with the comment, just started watching. Have you made mention of the amazing downhill mountain biking that Little Switzerland has to offer? I would love to do that, especially this muddy mess.
Watch some of this downhill.
Look at that back tire, Lance.
It's a chocolate donut right now to me.
Looks pretty good, huh?
Hungry now.
Yeah, I know, me too.
So I wonder if he's going to try to make it to the back. The time, I believe, is still running. It looks like he'll probably end up accepting a 60-second on that. And he'll probably get a max out time for the rear unless he goes back up. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So Heineke will hold on to the 60, and he's actually getting it on, I'm being told now, the backside as well. So by electing not to go backside, it's similar to front.
Oh, it
now
is.
I'm being told that he is.
So is he gonna take the chairlift up, Brando? Bring his bike up.
Yeah, bring the bike up.
Like a downhill mountain bike.
Like a mountain bike. Yeah.
All right, looks like he's taking the other side.
I said, hey, give me a run with no moguls. I got no problem with it.
Yep.
You guys, as Jason just passed me heading back up the hill to go to the backside, his tire is nearly flat. So I'm not sure if that's from, jumping these jumps with how heavy their bikes are, or if he let the air out of the tire because he'll be able to get more traction with how slippery it is currently.
Well, one of the things you're saying about that is they definitely let the air out of their tires to get more traction. Right. You are correct, but when you let that much air out of your tires, you have a higher risk of pinching your tube and having your tire go flat. So it doesn't help sometimes in situations like this if he hits a sharp edge, and he could have gone flat. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the tire is nearly flat. I mean, there was barely any air in it. So as we move on to the next racer, number 60, his tire is not looking anywhere near Jason's.
Yeah, Jason, we'll see how he does here. He definitely was not getting the traction unit at the front, but was that because of all the jumps and the moguls?
And there you see Dan Dricken on the front side, the 60 plate. And if you're just joining us, thank you so much for watching. It's the Harley Hill Climb as part of the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration coming to you from Little Switzerland Ski Resort. Just about 30-minute drive from downtown Milwaukee.
So Lonnie wants to know a little bit more about what the riders are riding. These hill climb bikes right here are definitely a custom-built, garage-built bike. You're seeing a lot of sport bike, a lot of hard. Oh!
Out over the top.
Look at
Super
that!
fans through the timing lights.
So he just launched it. He said this time, I'm making it to the top. I'm getting the time.
Heineke letting it fly like it's Pastrana throwing his bike into the bay.
Yep.
Amazingly enough, though, Lance, that time coming in at under 3 seconds. So actually a pretty solid backside score nonetheless.
Yep. Well, like I was saying before, I wanted to talk about the bikes. We had a lot of people asking about it.
Well, go ahead.
These are definitely homemade bikes. And this looks like they're morphing dirt bikes. And this bike right here that we're watching is a Harley-Davidson engine. They want bikes with more power than you've ever seen on a dirt bike, longer than a dirt bike. They're trying to get a long wheelbase with suspension of a dirt bike so that they can get up through these obstacles. So it's really a morph, and they're making stuff to kind of get up the best they can.
So 99 getting out of the way, opening it up for Dan Dricken, ready to drop in for his first run out here today.
So he's ripping up there with a Sportster engine. See how he gets through those moguls. Look how long that swing arm is. Oh, just fine.
Yeah, showing no problem. It was a cautious approach getting into it.
And he makes it look like a cakewalk.
And after seeing a couple of 60s, Dan Dricken puts down the 20.318 on the first half. We'll see what he does with this bike on the backside.
Watch him through the moguls. He's very cautious. It's getting slippery out there. But at the end of the day, this time is going to be a lot better than some of the riders that don't make it.
But Lance, let me ask you this, and also Diana, please feel free to chime in. Now I feel like some of these guys are really, who are going in later at the back end of this field, are at a disadvantage versus, say, Logan Sapala, who got in, especially before the heavy rain started coming down.
Correct. That is definitely right. I mean, just me standing out here, as I take a few steps before, I had plenty of traction with the grass. Now everything is just sliding. And the course is going to be the same exact way, especially with all the lines running through it. Really, Logan has a complete advantage here, as well as Luke, because they ran in the class before. They already have a complete feel of what it's like. And, I mean, I don't really see anyone else here on the course having as much of an advantage as them.
Yeah, no coincidence that Logan Sapala was the first guy to ride in this class and still has the fastest time. I don't want to take anything away from Logan. He obviously won the 450 class and has looked so good all day long here in Little Switzerland.
Well,
but
these
he obviously had an advantage.
These guys were having qualifiers earlier on in the day, and I'm sure he seeded himself to have the first lineup. Being in hill climbing, you'd probably want the first lineup so you get the smoothest track, basically.
Well, another thing to think about too is, guys, he's a silver medalist from the hill climb.
Absolutely.
Again, just like the front hill, he's smooth, he's calculated, and he gets up.
Well, that's the thing. I think the long wheelbase is certainly helping him, but it also feels like we're seeing a little bit more of a cautious approach.
Yep. Hey, slow and steady wins the race.
So Dan Dricken, after posting that 20.318 on the front side, puts down a 3.175. And here's Joel Faldy.
Here come the moguls. Hesitant, but gets through them. Back on the gas. Nice. Making it look easy.
Oh, and that
Making
was a
it fun.
great first time run. 15.663 for Joel. One of the faster times we've seen.
We'll see if
here on the front.
We'll see if he can stay on the podium with that on the backside.
Holding. Running the
Jerry Zimmy watching. Come on, Joel. We've got a Joel fan out there riding that 31 plate.
You saw that bike often just inching that front wheel off the ground with how much power it had. So 15.663 on the front, and now he's going to go up and secure his position with his time on the back side of the hill. Fans are cheering him on. He's revving up, clicks it into second. On the gas.
Oh, and this is a great run, Lance.
Launching with style at the top. 2.5.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if it's good enough for a top 3.
I don't know that that's going to get him into the top 3. Of course, Kirk Mueller had that 2.3. 18.224, yeah, so that puts him just outside of the top 3. That's the 4th fastest combined time we've seen out here today. But my goodness, he zoomed up that backside.
He's not going to be happy with that. He's going to come down. He's going to realize he was only a second off of a podium position. He's got a second chance at this. I'm pretty sure he's going to hang it out there more on the second run. So we switched over to the 250 Pro class. As you can see, that's a 250 dirt bike right there. And this is Logan Peterson going in for the first run. Brando, what do you want to know about this bike versus the bikes that were just up there?
Yeah, well, just the 250 class versus the...
Just clicked it up into second.
So here we go, Logan Peterson's backside here in the 250s.
Nice.
That's going to be pretty cool. Stick around for that.
He made that look easy.
Yeah, he really did. Coming in at just under 3 seconds, a 2.97.
See, so you can see their times aren't much different than the open class. You did see him trying to clutch it quite a bit to get off that start, to keep that second gear momentum, to get it up and going up the hill. But again, he didn't have a problem, and he made it, almost look easier than some of those open bike classes.
Seeing the comments coming in, keep them rolling. Dan, let's see the big boys again. I'm curious how many out there watching here ride 250 versus 450. We want to hear you.
Or do you ride a street bike with, the 400 cc's?
So here's Mount Altafish, who looked so good earlier today.
So good.
In the Pro Opens.
You don't hear this sound too often anymore.
So Altafish looked really good in the head-to-head battles. We'll now see in the timed category if he's riding as fast as he looked earlier in the day. 16.41.
So a little bit behind. Let's watch him go again. On the gas. Let's see, does he shift after this? Oh, you can't see. He definitely steps on the back brake.
So almost a second slower than what we saw out of Peterson's front end run. Let's see if he can make up ground here on the back course.
So this bike's a lot older than the last bike. I think, again, this has a long swing arm. They do a little bit of customization to them. They find the bike that rips. They possibly have some ported and polished heads on this bike, which would increase the flow, which will make it faster. So I would imagine once they kind of build a bike, they don't get new ones every year. They get comfortable on that bike, and he's looking a little too young. That bike might be older than him. Maybe it's his dad's or family friends, or he bought it off of.
Well, we've seen some pretty amazing things out here today. In the Hooligan class, we saw a guy win on a bike that wasn't even his, that was given to him about 30 seconds before the race. So.
Guys, he might be bringing back the 90s vibe.
Yeah.
With this YZ. I mean, you got to see the next bike on the line, the 217. Just a good old stock dirt bike heading up the hill right now.
Nice. There it is. KTM 250F. You could just hear the difference in the engines. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's a Honda 250F. My apologies.
So here's Scott Dahl with the black taped 217.
But you could just hear the difference in the engines when they take off. That's a 4-stroke. The bike previously was a 2-stroke. 4-strokes being a little bit new in the motocross scene. I mean, not so new, probably been around now for 15 years in the scene, but still to some of these watchers, and even myself, I grew up riding 2-strokes.
It's so interesting to see these more stock dirt bikes out here for a hill climb, especially with the backside lands. What's your thoughts on them coming out here with a standard swing arm versus the extended swing?
Well, you saw the last rider going up that backside of the hill, and you saw his front end. He was struggling keeping the front tire on the ground. So with the longer wheelbase, it makes it a little bit easier to keep it on the ground. But with the stock swing arm, they're going to struggle. And if I'm correct, is that Honda that just went up, it has a stock swing arm, right?
Correct, and the one that's on the line for the next race.
Yeah, so we're going to see something change right now. We'll see if he can even make it up. Because a lot of the guys during practice weren't able to make it up with a stock swing arm. But obviously he's going to give it a go. He could be the exception.
It's the 115th anniversary of Harley-Davidson. Thank you all for tuning in from all over the world. You're tuning into the hill climb at Little Switzerland. The guys are nice and cozy in the booth, and I'm out here in the rain taking heavies and watching the standard dirt bikes just not struggle.
Yeah, Diana, it's actually, you say we're nice and cozy. It's actually a little too warm in here.
But you just
Love
saw...
to open a window, maybe.
Lance, stop breathing.
not to change the subject, but you just saw him make it up the hill on a stock 250F.
Amazing.
But he had to jump off his bike, side saddle, and push it over the last couple feet to get to the top.
So here's Greg Schroeder.
Again, as like Diana said, on a stock bike.
On the 293. It should be noted, Scott Dahl, although he did make it up, he went out of bounds. So for that, he gets an automatic 60. That's going to hurt your time. But what's 293 got here?
Oh, Greg's struggling a little bit through the mogul. Stalled it.
Oh, he stalls.
Can he beat the 60 seconds?
Through.
Can he beat the 60 seconds? It's always better to beat the time of not making it.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, if you can't make it up the top, you get an automatic 60, and it looks like Schroeder will be able to at least, I don't know, I think he's going to avoid it.
I think they shut his tire off. I think he might have maybe went outside, or I'm not sure what that
Yeah, we'll
is.
have to get a ruling on that.
Is Kawasaki, sponsored by Heineke Auto, Mike's Motor.
Scoring's got a quick trigger there.
I'm going to give him a 30.
I'm going to give him a 44.19.
As you see the overview of Little Switzerland here, the rain keeps pouring down. The course becomes more slippery as each minute passes. It's only going to become more difficult for every rider that they have lined up here. But what a fantastic event. Thousands of bikers have ridden up here from downtown Milwaukee to come watch this amazing event. The parking lot is packed, and not only that, believe it or not, there's loads of people out here. Umbrellas, no poncho, or with the poncho. They're here, rain or shine. And that shows the commitment and the culture behind Harley-Davidson.
Diana, I don't know if you can see it, but we're showing shots of the grill going. If you wouldn't mind just maybe walking over there and grabbing us a couple burgers.
I really need a cheeseburger too.
Find us at the booth.
41 seconds.
So Schroeder was technically 41 up, but he got the 60 regardless. And now he's just, oh my goodness, that could have been really bad, Lance.
Bike is gone.
He gets caught in the weeds, and thank God he jumped off that bike before it was tree browned.
What's it going to take to find it now? I'd love to see a replay on that. You saw?
I'm sorry, Greg. Just leave the bike. You're not going to find the bike out there. It's full of poison oak. Just save yourself, Greg.
A crane is going to be needed to pull that bike out of the forest.
Play it where it lies. That's what I say.
Not only that, but he's on a Kawasaki, which is green, so that thing's just perfectly hidden. Front side taken off.
So we move on Andy Henneke, number 430.
Through the moguls. Looking smooth. Oh, foot down. Another 2-stroke ripping up the hill. If you could smell the premix right now like we can, you would be wanting to be here on a 2-stroke like these riders.
20 seconds there for Andy, 20.14. And it looks like Craig has located his bike. That was wild. I mean, he went out of bounds immediately on that back end, so he gets the 60-second. And the fans, I don't know if you can hear it in the on the broadcast, but they're going crazy because they did find the bike. Diana, it sounds like the roar of the crowd with Greg Schroeder finding his bike there in the woods.
Yes, that's right. As soon as he got put up on the big screen, the crowd just started roaring for him. He was able to fish the bike out. So, hey, I mean, I give it up to the guy for bringing a stock motorcycle out here to try this hill climb out.
Hopefully that was his bike and not his friend's. His friend's going, why'd you launch my bike into the side of the mountain?
So we move our attention back to Andy Heineck, the 430. He posted a 20.14 on the front end.
So I got a question on here on Facebook Live. Jason Hale going, where's the Harleys? We had Harley Hooligans ripping up the mountain earlier today. Then we had the open class with Harley-Davidsons ripping up the mountain. Now we're on to the 250 class. So in the 250 class, we're seeing a lot of 2-strokes and 4-stroke dirt biking guys.
So here's Helnick's back end run, and he lands. I don't know if they're going to count that. Looked like he went out of bounds.
I think he stayed in. I think it was from that angle. He made it. I mean, I'd give him a time. He didn't go that far out if he did. See this again. Watch. Let's see if he actually goes out. He's still in. I mean, he goes out.
What do you call that?
But he still come. But
They're
he
saying that's
came back
inbounds.
in. He didn't go out on one of the red sticks.
So is that the thing? All the way out, and he came back in. He did bring it back around, so they will count it.
And he hit the stake. I'm going to give it to him.
Trevor Aspinwall asking, are the Hooligans over? Yeah, that's actually what kicked off our broadcast, was the Harley Hooligans earlier today.
Jason Walker wants to see a Dyna. Jason, you could come here and sign up. Bring your Dyna out. Let's see it rip.
So here's Nathan Preeb, the 94 bike. We've seen some trouble on this front end the last few riders. Can he buck that trend and get a quick time in the teens here?
Committed. Committed. Wow, he looked the best through those right there in this class. Has to be a good time.
Yeah, that's coming in at a 15.58.
And what is that compared to the others, Brando?
Yeah, it puts him right in the mix. Logan Peterson with that 15.52. So right now, Nathan Preeb, I believe, has the second fastest front time.
That's splitting hairs right there.
Jason Walker, the guy who wanted to see the Dyna, he just said, lol, I would bottom out.
Hey, you guys, what's happening on Facebook right now? Is there
Oh
anyone
my goodness, everyone's going crazy on Facebook. They're watching, they're providing commentary along. It's amazing.
Well, I want to know if they want to know anything about the track or anything.
Yeah, great question, Diana. If you've got any questions specific to the track or something that a rider's going through right now, let us know and we'll send Diana out there. She's on the prowl to answer any questions for you.
I'm currently mud skating. Believe it or not, it's turned into mud boarding into mud skating. If you guys take a look out here.
Yeah, you're hard to miss. You have got a neon poncho.
Yes, I'm in the neon poncho. I can't wait to show it on camera for the winner's interview.
Hopefully a camera catches you. Yeah, that's amazing.
So you notice the number 94, he's really eyeing out the lines. He wants to make this count. He's pulled his goggles off so he has a little bit better vision. Now he's going to kick a little section to dial it in a little bit.
Yeah, when they were going head-to-head, Lance, we take another look. There is a look at the beautiful accessory that Diana Dahlgren is rocking.
Hi, guys. I'm down here reporting to you with my poncho in the rain. It's going great down here. We're getting the new event of mud skating started soon. Any takers? Might take the gold.
Just looks like you're just standing in a mud field, like you're nowhere near the course, Diana.
I know, but anyways, these riders are lining up. They're in the back heart of the course here. They're getting ready to go. And you know what? We have a lot more coming to you at Bradford Beach this afternoon. We're going to be hopping on a helicopter, hopefully, after these races, going down to Bradford, something that hasn't been done in a century.
100 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, Lance, I got a question for you. Before, when they were going head-to-head, there was a clear line as to which riders wanted to take on this back end. It's all mush out there now. It doesn't seem like, you know, veering a little to the right, little to the left, there's an advantage either way.
Straight line. He kept it nice and straight.
Line isn't enough. A
Where'd he go?
3.4. It is not.
3.4. It is not.
So that's the second fastest backside time. Logan Peterson still at that sub 3, the 2.97. That's holding up as the fastest backside time. And therefore, he still has the fastest combined run.
So I see a comment on here from Earl Oliver. Anybody running one of the old Harley motocross bikes? Those bikes are so awesome. I would love to have one in my personal collection. I don't think anyone that owns one would ride one out here just because of how kind of rare it is to have one that runs. They are an awesome bike. Would love to have one again. Right now, you see a Honda coming up the mountain.
That Honda belonging to Brandon Donahue.
He's on a 250F.
His time coming in at a 26.327, and there you see it is absolutely pouring out here at Little Switzerland. The conditions we hope will improve a little later today when we're out at the beach. And you heard Diana talking about it out at Bradford Beach. There you see the course getting built. And Lance, I know you're gonna be in the booth with me, but I think I'm gonna have some trouble holding you back from getting out there on that beach course.
Yeah, that looks like fun. I've always liked riding in sand. You just get to stay on the throttle, keep the front end up, and roost.
Yeah. So if you're watching us right now, don't go anywhere. We'll be out there a little later today, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock Central for us here in Wisconsin. And as Diana said, we'll actually be hopefully getting to the chopper.
To the chopper.
I believe we are taking a helicopter to get there.
Yep.
I can't wait for that.
Well, because we weren't granted Harleys. Everyone in the parking lot on Harleys will just rip there.
Yeah. But given the conditions, I think I would prefer the helicopter. Call me crazy.
Funny. Call me crazy because I actually would like to be maybe on a full dresser with a full face helmet, and I would rip down to the beach on a Harley right now.
I think we can find you one, Diana. I don't think there would be any shortage of volunteers out there to lend you a bike.
The only problem is that I think I would be late for our first hit, so I actually can't do it. You can get anywhere in Milwaukee on a bike though this week, so
full
I actually
access.
might have an advantage
Your
on your helicopter.
Your bike is your credential out here this weekend.
So I'm getting tons of comments on Facebook Live right now. Clinton Thompson, Diana's hot. Rick Hartman, let's go back to Diana. John Hill, I want to see Diana slide down the hill. So I think everyone's kind of liking when they get to see Diana. So we're going to try to bring it back down to you as much as we can to give the viewers, any other viewers out there that are stoked to see Diana, let us know that you love her.
I just saw a great comment that I think maybe we should end the day with out here. Michael Bruss, when's the mud wrestling start?
Whoa! I mean, any takers? I'll try to throw down in this mud.
I think Clinton Thompson was mud wrestling.
Oh, Diana, you're volunteering to mud wrestle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was for me, with me. I just accidentally volunteered myself. Sorry about that. But anyways, you guys, I don't know if you've seen it here in the past 5 seconds, but the rain is just all of a sudden picked up. It is pouring out here.
Well, we're watching the riders right now on the screen trying to get down to the backside of the mountain, and they're taking support just to get down there.
Yeah, I mean, the mud condition is just, I mean, you might as well just take paint and paint it with it because it's just so smooth. I mean, I'm having to watch every step I take so I don't embarrass myself in front of thousands of spectators here.
Here's Brandon Donahue. Oh, no!
About halfway up the hill. He didn't launch it into the bushes. It's going to be a little bit easier for him to turn around. But again, stock swing arm, I think that's where these guys are struggling. It is raining. It is getting muddier and muddier and muddier. But that stock swing arm is not helping these guys on this steep hill. And a lot of people from their couch or from wherever they are watching this, they could say, oh, that hill's not that big. But add the conditions, add only having a 10-foot run-up to gain your momentum. Yes, that hill would be very easy if you were to ride from 100 feet behind and carry momentum up it.
So there you saw Peterson, who was our first runner here in the 250s, is still leading the way. But here now, Stephen Norman.
Stephen Norman's going to go back there with an extended swing arm, and let's see if what I was just saying is going to kind of help him get up that hill. He's eyeing it out right now. All right, so here he is. He's heading back. Like I said, let's see if that extended swing arm gives him an advantage over the riders with the stock swing arm. There he goes, riding up. Oh, feet off the pegs. Getting to the moguls. Feet off the pegs again. Every time I see a foot off the peg, I'm just thinking it's slowing him down.
Cost him. Norman had to check up at
kind of had to check up a little bit at the mogul section to you know, regain control.
I mean, at this point, down here at the front side of the course, in the starting ruts, there's just no traction. I mean, the mud in here is just so slippery. If you guys come to me at all in the front, I mean, I could just show you what this is looking like here. I'll come up to the
let's get a shot of Diana. There we are.
You could just see, I mean, it's just, look at my foot. I mean, it's like my foot might as well be on an ice skating ring right now. There's just, if you look at the ruts into each jump, I mean, there's just no available line for any real traction here. So these guys are gifted, man. They're talented, and they're putting it all on the line for the 115th anniversary.
So awesome. Thank you very much, Diana. It's definitely looking muddy down there. And here we are with the extended swing arm on the two-stroke KTM. Let's see how he does. Getting it. And looks great. And see, like I said, the extended swing arm really, I think, you know, helping him get to the top. It is a lot of the rider's ability, but that swing arm does give a good advantage. And I believe he pulled a 3.9 seconds getting up. And here we are with another rider with a stock swing arm. Let's see how he goes. Up into the moguls, checking up a little bit, eyeing out his line. Oh, it's getting slick out there. The 316 dropping his bike. Let's see if he can get up and get to the top of the mountain to give the backside a little bit of some action. Diana, what's going on down there? I think Diana, oh, it's past 35 seconds now.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. I was just catching up with scoring time. I had my headset out. Anyways, you know what? I mean,
Jeff Wick, who was out there racing, now helping him get his bike off the track.
Yeah, we are going to have, you know, there's some serious, you know, mud delays here. I will say that.
Now we are at 60 seconds, I believe. So he will just take a 60 flat for this one. Again, let's see if he makes it to the backside.
But for now, the rain is dissipated. Where it was pouring, you know, just 60 seconds ago, it's actually no drops are coming out of the sky now. So that's a good thing. We'll see how long it lasts.
Here we go. He checks up a little bit going into the moguls. Bopping through and just pushes that front end. Could not keep it up. There he is going over with timing and scoring. AMA, seeing if he can go back to the top.
So that backside run will be a 60 and a 60. And look who it is, Luke Sapala.
Zapala riding today for West End, Harley-Davidson out of Ellsworth, Wisconsin.
Luke, of course, lost to brother Logan earlier today, trying to get a little vengeance.
Maybe he let him win.
18.4, a 19.0, and a 19.9. We got the thumbs up for Luke.
So check out these chairlifts. The chairlifts are running. I've seen some people going up, getting their phones out and able to film the run side by side. Here he goes. Let's see how he does in the moguls. He's been doing great all day.
Oh,
like they weren't even there.
Come on, Luke.
Like they weren't even there. Hurt feelings right there.
Wow.
So he's got an extended swing arm as well. This is his second run, or is this his first run?
I believe that's Luke's first run.
We've just seen so much of Luke doing well all day that I'm like, wait a second.
So 15.801 on the front end for Luke Zapala. And how about this?
Yeah.
I don't know if he is contracted by us, if this is part of our production team, but let's get that footage.
That's got to be incredible. I'm sure it's on social media world somewhere.
The lift cam. So Luke Zapala, after a very strong front run, let's see what he's got here on the back end. Jerry Zimmy, Luke Zapala got game.
So he's just picking out his line right now. And again, he's been riding all day, so he kind of knows where he wants to be.
I mean, look when he steps into it. That's at least a half foot deep right there.
Yep. It's up to his brake rotor, that rut. Robertson, will he make it? I'm thinking he'll make it.
So here's Luke Zapala.
Trying to do the math to see what he needs on the backside run. What's he turn in? Is it enough?
A 4.04, unfortunately for Luke. While he does get up there, that's not going to compete, I believe, with the top 3 times thus far. And we thank you for joining us here at our Harley-Davidson hill climb from Little Switzerland Ski Resort out here in Slinger, Wisconsin. Beautiful shot from our drone overlooking this little ski hill that we've turned into the Harley Hill Climb here in 2018.
These guys on Facebook Live are just teasing us. Phil's wanting burgers, Kyle's wanting burgers. I know my friends are wanting burgers.
Yeah, I actually left the booth for about a minute to just go grab one. They weren't even done. I just was so hungry.
Number 11 ripping through the moguls pretty well.
And if we'll see that time coming in at 17.648. And Lance, this may be my favorite rider of the day based solely on his name. This is Bodie O'Neill.
I like that. I was thinking you were going to say his name was Brando Graham.
No, Bodie. From my favorite film of all time.
What is that?
The Oscar Award winner for greatest film of all time.
What is
Point
that?
Break.
Oh.
Bodie and Johnny Utah. Now, if Johnny Utah is competing next, something's going to be up. And Lance, he's a little guy.
I was just gonna say.
I think this is one of our teenagers we have in the field.
I was just gonna say the frickin' bike is as tall as his shoulders.
But Bodie showed no problem with that front side, 17.648 here in the 250 class. If Bodie can put it together here on the backside, he's going to be making some noise on that leaderboard.
Yes, he will.
Jerry Zimmy telling us he's 14 years old. Whoa.
Oh. That's how greasy it is out there. He tried to put his foot down and kick over to get on the bike, and just no traction with his feet. So we'll see how he does, being so light on the bike, getting up this vertical hill.
Yeah.
Is it going to help him in the way of, being lighter on the bike, or is he not going to be able to keep that front end up?
What do you think? I mean, my sense is that puts him at a bit of a disadvantage.
I'm going to vote disadvantage because he's not going to be able to keep the front end
keep
up.
the weight down on the front end. We'll see. I mean, he let it rip on the front side, so.
Hear the bike revving up. Two-stroke zinging. Puts the transponder on his wrist.
And there's a great look at what he's got in front of him.
Takes off. Swirling up it.
But he makes it.
The number 11 backside run.
And that time comes in at a 3.476. So not enough to necessarily crash those top spots, but a really strong showing from the 14-year-old. So here's Brian Rammer, Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin.
Notice how deep those ruts are. Bike's running a little rich, blowing that blue smoke out the back. Checking up on those moguls a little bit. Oh, into the crowd. Oh! Just like some old school hill climbing videos you see.
Yeah, you stand on the sideline, you're gonna get yourself a souvenir.
But look at everybody's laughing, smiles on their faces.
Let's get the selfie.
Yep, get the selfie.
Guys, like, I'm just getting a 60 on my run and you're out here selfieing. Nice.
Everyone's. Watch the facial expressions as they start coming to him. Like, whoa! Every man for themselves. But now look, once they realize everyone's safe, everyone's smiling. All right, so he's going up to do the back.
So with that, Brian Rammer gets an automatic 60 on the front side. And I think that's what makes guys like Sapala all that more, and Logan Peterson all the more impressive, Lance.
Yep.
When you think about how they've just laid that front course to waste, showing no issues with the moguls whatsoever. And then you see the field, even on these 250s, really having trouble navigating those obstacles.
Yep, you're exactly right. Really starts to show the riders who have the talent and skill to pull it off.
So Logan Peterson still leading the way with that 18.49. No one else able to get that sub 19 seconds so far. Will that change with 5 more riders still yet to run?
Again, I'm getting a lot of guys on Facebook Live. They're probably just tuning in. The Harley-Davidson Hooligans ran. They were all on Harley-Davidsons. And then we had the open class where that was a variety of high CC bikes, and there was a lot of Harley engines on those. This is the 250cc class, so you're going to get a lot of 250cc two-strokes and 250F four-strokes. Here we have a 250cc two-stroke going off with the extended swing arm. Let's see if he can pull it. Ooh, looks like he's going to need a little bit more tire.
Oh,
look at it dig a hole.
And it's a slow fall.
Just
midway through.
Out for a second, but he just digs in midsection of the hill. So
Robert's asking, is that the guy that went into the bystanders? That is the guy. Nobody was injured in that.
And man, he
did make it. And he didn't make it up that hill. So looks like he's going to need some help getting back around to the other side of the mountain.
Well, the question is,
so a couple of 60s for Brian Rammer, unfortunately, but now we move our attention to 895, Logan Sapala.
We're going to see some stuff happen here.
Logan has had himself a day.
Already taken one win, we know that for sure.
We saw him in the head-to-heads beat little brother Luke. Cannot wait to see what he's got in store here on the timed portion here in the Open Pro.
Here he comes. Second jump, launching it. Let's see how he goes to the moguls. Little checkup, but wheelies through it, just like it wasn't there. A couple bumps and he's gone.
Just a walk in the park for Logan Sapala.
How's his time?
I think that may be the fastest front end time we've seen here in the class. Yes, just over 15 seconds. Wow.
Incredible. Let's watch that again.
Logan Sapala has just been on another level all day, Lance.
Look at this, man.
He wants to get another medal. One's not enough. You see him get through those moguls, he just wheel taps. Just right back through. See, he doesn't even set the front end down till he's through them.
You know, after he won the previous class, Diana spoke with him, and it seemed he was so zoned in, very focused, had his game day.
Yep.
And I think it was because he was waiting for this thing, like, hey, let's keep it going. My day's not done.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not getting too stoked right now. I still got more to win.
He's showing no problem, got in a position right away here for this backside. Logan Sapala.
Extended swing arm, 252 stroke.
Hovers that boundary line, but
that
stays
time?
in. The time coming in at 3.63, and I think we have a new leader potentially, Lance.
Bumping everyone down.
Yes, so with that, an 18.65, so he passes Peterson to take over the top spot.
Looks like Diana's going to get him over to the side. Let's see what Diana has. Oh.
Yeah, Diana will get him situated, but we've still got another rider to drop in a few.
Another two-stroke, 252 stroke.
Here's Tony Stockhouse.
Extended swing arm. He's looking relaxed. Checks up a little bit in the moguls. Oh. I don't think this is going to be enough to get him on the leaderboard.
Yeah, you don't want to be, again, I think the riders at the beginning of this class seem to have an advantage because the conditions have just worsened. The only thing than being one of the last guys is to be a guy to follow Logan Sapala, who's down with Diana Dahlgren.
Currently second on the leaderboard. What's it going to take for your second pass to put you in that #1 position and take another win today?
Yeah, I think my plan for second round is to hit the front side of the hill a little bit better, clean it up, and then hopefully get a little faster on the backside. But right now the backside is definitely going downhill and getting a lot slower compared to what it was earlier.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you very much, Logan Sapala. Keep an eye out for him so fast on the course today.
Yeah, thank you, Diana. So Logan, we thought might have actually had the top run, but maybe that backside is just keeping him off the edge. Yep. And that's it. Logan Peterson just under 18.5. So, oh my goodness, the battle between Logan and Logan. It was Logan Sapala versus Luke Sapala in the previous class. Now you have Logan v. Logan here in the 250 Pro.
We have some weird stuff going on right now. And he just said in his interview how the backside is getting nasty. So here again, we have a 252 stroke, extended swing arm. Let's see if they're able to, increase their times, or if it's just going to kind of keep getting harder and harder and harder, and the times are going to keep going, downhill. Basically.
So here's Stockhauser after posting that 22.058 on the front end. Oh yeah,
it's just getting really soft.
Oh man, you feel for these riders again who, as I feel like I'm beating a drum, the conditions have worsened, the course has just gotten that much slushier, and these guys are having to take their first runs on it.
This reminds me of a couple years ago, Buddy and I were on a trail ride. We had to be to a dinner by 5 o'clock, so we wanted to try to leave in a certain amount of time. But we went down a hill that was so soft, well, there was a gate at the bottom. We had to turn around and try to go back up the hill. We ended up having to carry our bikes up the hill because we just could not get traction to get up it. And that's what basically these guys
That's exactly what's going on here.
Through the moguls, being a little cautious, but it's just getting so slick out there. Again, it's a feat just making it to the top. You've seen the riders that haven't been able to make it. And so, you know, we're looking at this going, oh, it's a little bit slower time, but he made it.
Yeah, Paul putting in that 20.67, but he got to the top. When you're seeing guys left and right having to put up 60s because they can't even get up there, this feels like an accomplishment in and of itself, but it makes it all the more impressive when you see what a Logan Sapala does, just a shade over 15 seconds on this front side. So it begs the question, Lance, obviously the one thing we can't control is conditions here, but knowing hill climb, knowing so many of these guys who race in that circuit, how different of times would we be seeing? Obviously we'd be seeing guys staying on their bikes, but I'd be curious, especially on those front ends where right now 15 seconds seems to be the leader of the clubhouse. How much faster would the times be on 250s in ideal conditions?
It's so tough to say because both these Logans are making it look effortlessly when they go up. I mean, they may be able to shave off 1 or 2 seconds, but I think they're on it. I think they get a little bit more time shaved off on the rear of this, on this back side of the mountain. But maybe the moisture is actually keeping this dirt together, and maybe if it was dry on this big hill, it'd be soft dust, which maybe would be worse. It's really tough to say. I mean, the Logans right now, they're riding great.
Logan Peterson still leading the way, and Logan Sapala right behind him. So after seeing Paul Buettner, we now see Julia Buettner out of West Bend, Wisconsin.
Sounds like she's on a 250F. Extended swing arm. Getting through those moguls.
And Julia controlling the bike through those features and making her way to the finish line.
Nice.
That's going to be a solid front end score. You see Jay Hannibal, new to this. Do they use special sand rail tires for these bikes? Jay asks. So that time coming in at a 23.425.
I can hear an exhaust in my ear right now that sounds like it's got no muffler. What's coming up to the line? What are you thinking about, Brando? You're staring at the screen right now. You're looking at Facebook Live. I mean, is there these comments that are coming out to you? Because you look deep in the comments right now.
I'm following along. Jeff Dickow, nice ride. That it was.
I have a question right here. Lisa, how late will the hill climb go until today? I believe the hill climb has, what, about another half hour to an hour, depending on the weather conditions, how these races come out. And it looks like they see the sun coming out. But
don't lie to me, Lance.
It looks like sun.
Let me look out the window to make sure. Yeah, poking its head out.
But I wanted to say to Lisa, what time do we have the beach racing going on?
That is at, I believe, 6 p.m. Eastern, which means 5 Central.
So we're going to be here for a little bit longer. We're going to take a little time away, and we're going to pop back up live for the beach racing.
Yeah, we're excited for that. So here's Julia on the back end trying to keep it in bounds. Can she get up to the top?
Oh, it's just too soft.
Oh, Julia.
It's just too soft. Look at her boots just sinking into it. I'm almost wondering if the left side of that hill is a little bit more traction. Everyone going on the right seems to get sunk a little bit.
So if you're keeping score at home, that's 3 straight 60-second back-end times. Here's Kurt Mueller. Rounds out our group of 17 here in the 250 class. Great drone shot.
Parts are flying off the bike. Whoa! Do we have a crash? We did. Little Larry loop out.
So Kirk Mueller, after he crossed the finish line, lays the bike down, but put a 17.42 as we take another look. We saw it from up high. Here it is from down low.
Oh, yard sale losing parts. Oh, a little mischief maybe.
Woo! Kirk. That one for the fans.
Oh, right off
that
the
one
bat.
was going to be tough to ride away from, but he picked a good time to do it as he crosses the finish line on the front end, 17.42. So that's a pretty decent time. We'll see if he has any trouble on the backside.
Scott Plummer wants us to learn how to pronounce Waukesha or Watasa.
Well, Scott, I haven't pronounced it at all just for that particular reason.
I gave it a shot.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I just not a lot of Midwestern in the two of us California boys here in the booth. We're trying, though. So Kirk Mueller, after absolutely sending it on the front side, will try to make some noise and gain some ground on the back end.
Well, again, he did get a decent time, so it'd be smart of him to finish it off and do it right.
On Facebook with Harley-Davidson.
So as he comes around for the back end part of the course, we just want to thank you all for watching right now. Don't go anywhere. Here it's the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration. We had Flat Out Friday last night. We're obviously out here at the hill climb. We're going to be out at the beach a little later this afternoon. So much riding, so much action still in store here from Harley-Davidson.
So again, still waiting for Mueller as our vintage riders down here at the bottom of the hill. They're starting to get lined up right now. This should be exciting.
So this gives us a really nice shot. Yeah, right now we're playing Where's Waldo? We're playing Where's Kirk with our drone as we try to figure out where exactly Kirk Mueller is on this course.
Still waiting on the whereabouts of Kirk Mueller.
Diana, do you have any sense of where Kirk Mueller is at the moment? Oh, Kirk Mueller will not be taking the back end run, so he will take that automatic 60. And with that, our 17 riders have officially placed here in the 250 Pro, and it's Logan Peterson with that 18.492 ahead of Logan Sapala and Nathan Preeb, rounding out the top three. So congratulations to Logan Peterson. We've still got great categories still to come, and we want to hear those comments on Facebook. Keep them coming. If you've got questions for Lance, if you've got questions for Diana, who's out on the course, let us hear it. We'll try to get to it. We now move on to our next class. This one's a fun one. We've been looking forward to it. The vintage class. Diana, are you down there?
Yes, I am. I'm down here by the vintage bikes. Man, you guys got to see these truly are vintage. We're going to see how these things hold up after what we've seen with some of the more non-vintage bikes. But yeah, these guys are putting it all out there and like team effort right now.
Yeah, this is awesome. Now, in this class, they will only be going up the front side of this course, correct, Diana?
Correct, and there's only 4 racers in this class, so it's going to go fairly quickly. From what I can hear, it sounds like something is started, but they're getting their electric pump or their electric starter over here to get this maybe another portion of the motor started. Lance, do you have any color on that?
Yeah, so Lance, it looks like they're having to get this thing restarted.
But the funny thing is it's already on. The engine's already started.
So what's going on?
So that's why I'm not understanding. But you know what? I'll try to get some details.
So, yeah, while Diana tries to fish for that, again, only 4 riders in this class.
Okay.
Each of them getting 2 attempts here. We're only counting that run 1, excuse me, that the front end of the course. And it's been, oh no, right out the gate.
That's what those ruts are going to do to these guys right here. And if you don't stay in the rut and your weight isn't distributed right,
I just hate
can't
it.
hold on.
But you could see Nathan kind of just obviously bummed out.
Wait a second. Look, his chain's off his wheel.
Oh, you're right.
That
Look
could
at
have
that
been
on the
what
back
it was.
end. That's what's going on here on the 500.
He thought the power was to the wheel,
No
so he put
way.
his weight into it, and there was no power going, so he just kind of fell over.
So he broke the chain, it looks like, Diana.
You know what? I think he just realized as well, because he was actually backing up to go into to start position again. Dan, the man, obviously was waving us off, and then it looked like the rider realized just a few moments ago that the chain is actually off. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next rider. This guy is scratched for this round, but don't forget there is a whole nother set of rounds that we are going to be doing, and hopefully he'll be able to pull something together that time.
Yeah, so this is the vintage class, and it's just such a bummer, Lance. These guys have been waiting all day to get these bikes out on this course, and to be the first rider to drop in for this class, and for that to happen, that's just brutal.
These are vintage bikes. Oh!
So here's Dalton Dye.
2 for 2.
Oh, no. And the starts are contagious out here as the bike falls on his leg.
I'm checking out the lines right now, you guys, to see if this is something happening. Okay, so what's happening right now, it sucks that we can't get a straight on camera angle, but right now what's happening, the rut line is curving. So maybe with these vintage bikes, the way that the front forks are set up, or the suspension on the rear end, it's just, and the weight of the bike, it's just maneuvering it, and it's making it go wobbly right off the start.
And Diana, thanks again for wearing that magenta poncho. We can actually see you from our we can see you from our drone from space in that thing.
Why, thank you. I'm honored to wear this magenta neon number here today.
There she is, right there.
So
like, where's Waldo?
We'll see if we can finally change the luck here with our 3rd rider set to drop in for the vintage class. Here's John Alft from Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Can we get a full pull on our 3rd attempt here in the vintage class? There's only 4 riders, fellas.
I'm crossing my fingers. There we go. There we go. Sounded like that bike was struggling when it wasn't wide open. Oh! There we go. So now we're going off a distance.
It's distance now. It's no longer a timed contest. Who can go the furthest up in their vintage bike?
You could hear that bike was kind of struggling with its jetting until it was wide open. Look at this. And you could just see him slipping the whole way.
I'm curious, anyone watching from home right now on Facebook, anyone got an old vintage bike that they would want to take up here and add to our 4-man field?
I do.
What do you have,
Diana?
I mean, I could alter a 98 Softail Custom. That's not too I mean, it's vintage for my day. It's not vintage in the world.
Why? When were you born?
Large. 1990.
Just a young buck.
Yes, we are young bucks, Lance. Sorry, Brando. Anyway, so this man made it up to the 3rd set of poles. And guess what? They're going to let number 500 attempt again. And so it looks like he has 2 engine starts. That's what we saw the first. A whole onset of power came on when he did a 2nd start. It's bizarre. I've never seen anything like that. So anyways, they're going to let him go again. His tires are completely mudded over, so he's not going to be getting nearly any traction that he needs.
So Nathan Oldenburg will get a rerun here on his first attempt. Of course, the chain coming off right out the gate to start out this class. Let's see if he has better luck here as he gets another crack at this thing. And he's off.
Can he make it further? Oh. Again, I think these older bikes are just not jetted right for this temperature and this elevation.
Hey. I mean, the reality is, Lance, we have already seen the 450 and 250 class, and half of those bikes had enough issues with this course.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good for these vintage bikes right now.
Guys, I cannot wait to show you the next bike that's up on the line, the number 80. So vintage that I think my granddaddy rode it, and not only that, but I think my granddaddy might be riding it too. So, hey, I can't wait to see what happens on this next run. This vintage class is so awesome, and not only that, we got to give it a huge amount of support for these guys bringing these older bikes out here to showcase here for the 150.
So we have one of the older riders out there on one of the oldest bikes, and so are we going to see some what do you call that? Like being witty, and he knows how to get up the mountain better.
Yeah, there's a vet savviness.
Yes, the savviness.
To old Mike Dricken, as you see. Forget the leather kits. Mike is going with the denim. And I think right now, I've just got a feeling. I just feel it. I feel it right now. Oh, it looks like he's getting away from the starting line, Diana. Where's he going?
Yes, Mike Dricken just did pull off, and Dan the Man, our promoter, did just cut him from the roster. So it looks like he's choosing not to go. He is reaching down to his engine compartment. I'm going to go over to him, find out what's going on.
I was just on the cusp of saying, Lance, that Mike Dricken I thought was going to be the guy to beat. I thought the bike, I thought the jeans, I thought everything, I thought the plate, everything screamed, this guy's going to win the vintage class. Now you're telling me he's not even going to compete?
The old blue jean biker, as Jerry Zimmy says.
There you can see Diana trying to figure out what's going on. Hey, Diana, so you're just talking to him. What's going on with Mike's bike?
Yep, it's only running on one cylinder, so that's why he decided to pull away from the competition. Bike's not running right.
Yeah, that would be tough to do. So I don't know if he's going to be able to figure things out. But in a four-man field where we haven't seen a full pull and one pull out entirely, that's a tough showing for the vintage class. But again, the conditions have just been so brutal here today.
Yeah, totally. I mean, these guys barely even want to take the bikes out of their garage to go hammer on them. And then conditions like this, they're like, I don't know if I'm going to ride. But I got to give props to the guys that went out there, that gave it their all, and put down a score. You know,
well, all these bikes are beautiful. So we move our attention from the vintage to the Open Pro Round 2.
All right, race fans, we are into round.
We move back to the Open Pro 895 Logan Sapala. Saw put down that 16.28 on his combined run. What can he do here on his second attempt? Here in round number 2.
On the gas. Camera can't even keep up. Do the moguls clean like they're not even there. Yes. Launching that jump.
Logan Sapala doing what Logan Sapala does. 13.224. Woo!
Wow, he stepped it up. Like I said, I think it's a little bit sunnier out. The rain stopped. They're going to start getting better traction, and we're going to start seeing the times go down just quite a little bit.
Speed demon, man. Logan Sapala has looked so good all day long, and that might have been his best run of the day.
So now Logan's going to get a chance at the other side of the hill. He's on his powerful bike, the open bike. Again, this is probably his 15th time going up this hill. It is a little looser, so we'll see what he decides.
But then you think about it, obviously different classes. Logan has probably, at this point, ridden this course, both front and backside, more than anyone else.
I think so.
Clearly, he has a feel for the lines.
Yeah, I think so. And he makes it look so easy that I think he actually is putting out less energy than some of the other riders. You know, he's not as winded as he gets to the top. But again, he is putting the most time on the bike.
Let's see those comments. Daniel Scott, Logan was born ready. Yeah, it looks that way out here today. Let us know where you're watching from, who your favorite is here in this Open Pro. Round number 2, Logan Cipolla on the back.
Oh, almost clearing the whole top.
And his time
of course he's going to send it.
The cool thing about a rider like that, you can see the confidence in him. 2.594.
Going under 3 on that back end. So, Lance, my friend, after a first run combined score time of 16.28, he goes 15.818 on run number 2.
Incredible. You asked me this earlier, and I didn't think they'd be able to shave too much time off of him, but I stand corrected.
So we move our attention to Lloyd Mueller.
Let's go, Lloyd.
Lloyd could not even get up on the front end of the course his first go-around, had to settle for that 60.
Oh, is the same thing happening?
And that's exactly where he was having issues on his first run, Lance. No.
Yeah, just framed it on the exact same mogul. This time his engine's still running, but he has the same problem.
That cautious approach getting into the moguls has really been the undoing of so many riders out here today.
And now he just stalled the bike, and looks like he's going to have the same score.
Fans coming in. Jay Hannibal from Toledo, Kenneth Knoll from Crystal River, Florida, Northeast PA in the house. What's up, Steve? Diana, again, it just looks like Lloyd having issues at that front end of the moguls.
Yeah, you know, with these conditions and this style of course, the well-roundedness of each one of these riders is truly going to be tested. It's going to take someone who knows how to ride a dirt bike track, who knows how to hill climb, who knows how to ride in sand, who knows how to ride in mud. It's going to be a culmination of all those things to pull through that perfect score for this hill climb.
Yeah, really good point. The most well-rounded riders, I think, are best served for a course like this, conditions like this. It's no surprise Logan Cipolla, who told you, rides a little bit of everything, has been the leader of the clubhouse out here today.
Notice how Logan Cipolla is almost a second and a half faster than anyone else out there. Is anyone going to be able to kind of come back up and match that? So our previous rider is not going to go to the backside. Mueller will not be able to make it.
Mueller. Lloyd Mueller will have to settle for 260s.
Does that sound better?
Josh Mahlerchuk, sorry if I butchered that. Lloyd, we got worms. Yeah. Any Dumb and Dumber quote is fine with us. So 127, Lloyd Mueller making his way up the backside.
So he had to go back down there to get his bike started. Were they talking about anything down there, Diana?
No, not that I caught on to, just that his bike had stalled, he needed to restart it. But so much what happens that we see in dirt sports is that typically if someone pulls off track or isn't happy with a score or something like this, they immediately give up, they go off course, they don't want any more of it. It is so awesome to see the sportsmanship here. Even if a guy gets caught in the mogul section, he's going to go down, he's going to get his bike started, he's going to go finish the last half, even though he knows he doesn't have a shot at placing here with this score. So that's pretty amazing to see that kind of sportsmanship displayed here today.
Well, absolutely. There's such a great camaraderie here amongst all of these riders. Yeah, it's a contest and you want to win it outright, but Man, these guys have been having fun all day long out here on this course.
And now that the rain's kind of stopped, they want to ride.
Yeah. Again, we're getting a lot of viewers from all over the globe. Dylan McAfee, let's get a shout out for T-Haas. What's up? Bonita Springs, Florida. Gerald Sunderman. Jason Walker, he likes turtles.
I like turtles.
So we want to know where y'all are watching from. And if you got a bike, would you bring it out here in these conditions? Because even some of these competitors who haven't been able to finish, you at least got to give them props for putting it down and bringing their bike out here and giving it a shot.
I personally don't have a bike that I'd want to bring out here and hammer down this, but I don't have any dirt bikes right now.
Greg Rogers out of Portland, Oregon.
Guys, maybe we should just bring a golf cart out here.
Yeah, I think we should figure out any vehicle we can get our hands on. We all, the three of us, took an Uber here together. We should have convinced our driver to take his minivan, the lovely Town and Country, up this course.
Why not do the Kiki challenge on the course?
We were doing the Drake In My Feelings challenge. I think I won that.
Kiki, do you love me? Do you want to?
Can we transfer over to Diana and see her do the dance right now, please?
Yeah, get a camera on her because she does do the challenge.
Let me see if I can do it. Do you have a camera on me? I'll try.
No, right now we're watching backside of the hill. Red Harley-Davidson ripping. And he made it. See, he wanted to complete that one, put a stamp on it, then he made it to the top. And I like that he did it. He's coming down to you, Diana. Diana, there we go. Let's Kiki it.
Are you guys actually going to do it? Can you sing the song for me?
Come on, yeah. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Do you know the rest of the lyrics?
I don't even know the rest of it. I just watch on Instagram, and they can't even hear me, you know, in course where they're showing this massive big screen we have in the background. It's me right now on the screen, and nobody is understanding what's going on because I'm not playing to the crowd. So all those out there watching Facebook, thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment for my week Kiki challenge.
No way.
No, that was not a
Let's
weak
ask
Kiki
the
challenge.
fans at home, in between riders, would you like more Diana dancing? Tell us a song, and she will figure out a choreography for it. Scott Desperate, I'd rather just watch Diana. Okay.
Do the moguls. I think as they keep going through the moguls like that, they're kind of got a nice rut going that's smoothed it out. It's almost made it smoother for them.
So Logan Peterson with that 15.475, really picking up where he left off on his previous run.
That's doable. And I'm going to have to take and give the credit to Dad there for painting them front tires.
Yeah, they got to walk the bike down. It's just so greasy, muddy that if they did ride it, chances are they're going to drop
Peterson is actually faster.
Those bikes are so heavy with those long swing arms that it's just not like a normal motocross bike that's easy to handle in a situation like this.
It's been a day for the Logans, though, nonetheless, both Sapala and Peterson.
Next year, this is going to be called the Logan Hill Climb.
The Logan Climb. And you can only enter if your name is Logan.
That means I can't race.
You can't. You'll be here in the booth. A 15.475 on the front end for Logan. He posted a 17.279 on the front end his first go around. And then put out a 3.459 on the back end. Let's see if he can best that here right now. Diana, we've got another request for you from Rick Adcock. Have Diana do the Carlton. So that's next on your list.
So I'm looking at this bike and it says Aprilia on the side. So that would be a European sport bike engine that would be in that.
Whoa, I think we're
bike.
sub 3 seconds on the back end there for Logan Peterson. Yep, 2.985, blistering up the hill.
Peterson, a 2.9 gives him an 18.4. And he
walking away with an
the podium. He will fall
18.4. That's a total score. Brando, where's that put him at?
Overall, that puts him at 18.46. So that doesn't best Logan Sapala, who just, frankly, he on one today.
He on one.
But Logan Peterson, that might be good enough for second place.
What do we have coming up next? Louis Louders.
So Louis Louders, on run number 1, he was just under 19 seconds with his front time.
Harley-Davidson ripping up the mountain right now. Listen to that thing.
What a shot.
Getting into the moguls a little bit.
Can he make it through? And he does not. Slowly laying it down.
He's still up and running. He's gonna get a time for it.
And it comes in, it looked like just under 30, but now I wonder, it seems like they've been, with the rules, if they lay down the bike, we've seen it become an automatic 60.
He didn't lay it down though. He kept, did he lay it down? He did, huh?
Are you even watching the contest?
I am,
Lance?
but I've seen, you know, a lot of guys lay it down, but he kept it on. That was kind of my question.
Oh, I see what you're...
You know, like, but he kept the bike running, so it's not like he...
The course is lava!
Go!
So, yeah, and it looks like official scoring, it is going to be a 60 for Louis.
Really?
That's a bummer. So already he'll still give it a go on the back end, but there's no way he'll certainly beat his first run time.
That's not fair. You should be able to score. You know, if you were able to get the bike up and you're running, you get the score that you got.
We do have an update on the dance poll for Diana. The Carlton still coming strong. Baby Got Back now is gaining a steady stream of votes. So Diana, just be ready either way.
I'm ready for the Carlton.
Dude, what is the Carlton?
Come on.
What is the
Fresh
Carlton?
Prince of Bel-Air.
What kind of childhood did you have?
I
Did you
know.
not have TV?
I
My
didn't know what the
God.
dance was. As soon as he just did the little
I could
thing.
try. I don't know how good I'm going to be, but hey, I'll try Carlton.
Well, right now we're going to try to get Louders up the hill on his Harley-Davidson Evo. See how he does.
Of course, Dan Louders still to come. He put down that 60 and a 60, so he'll try to best his second run time of Luke Sapala. Still has to put down his second attempt. So can Louders put the first run disappointment behind him?
Stay left, stay left.
And put it together here on the back end.
There he goes.
Side run
Nice.
today.
See, I'm saying the left line is definitely better.
So Louis Louders has a much better back course run than the front where he couldn't hold on. But we move our attention now to Luke Sapala. Again, Logan, brother Logan, leading the way with that 15.818. Luke trying to replace, as you see in that third place, 17.476. Can he catch brother Logan?
He gave him a run for his money in the other class, so let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Let's go. Oh, a little bit of hesitation right there. No, he's not going to have it. His brother definitely had the upper hand through the vocals right there. A great showing.
Yeah, about
Very
a
good.
second and a half slower than brother Logan. He's still under 15 seconds, which is the third fastest we've seen on the front end here on these second attempts, but not enough to trump his brother.
Yeah, guys, shockingly, the conditions on the course have actually became from slick back to chunky. You know, they're getting a little bit more traction, especially here at the start, which at one point about 45 minutes ago was very slick. I mean, you might as well call this mud toothpaste where I'm standing, but on the course, it's actually starting to dry up a little bit, which is great for these riders.
So Luke Sapala's got some ground to cover on this back end, and we get a beautiful shot of how we go front to back here from the drone. Again, brother Logan with that insane 2.594 on the back time, making him the leader of the clubhouse. He's gonna need something huge.
Can I give him a recommendation right now?
Sure, I don't think he's listening, but go for it.
If you can hear me, stay left. Stay left.
The Sapalas have had no problem with this course here today.
Again, following up with a lot of the comments we see on Facebook Live right now. Where's the Harleys? Where's the Harleys? This is a Harley-Davidson. He just put up a great run. Notice the Harley-Davidson logo right there on the side of the bike, stuffed into a custom-made frame. And here he goes. Stay left.
Goodness!
Like nothing, straight up.
14.9 Mueller's time
2.47.
And that is the fastest backside time we've seen out here on these second runs.
Yep.
Whoa!
How is that going to be combined?
Unfortunately, because he was a little slower on the front end, he's not going to overtake big brother Logan. But is that enough to get him into second place? I don't think so. I think Kurt Mueller might still be faster.
Yep.
But that is the fastest back end time.
Yep. Great effort.
I mean, I blinked and I missed it.
Yeah.
So we move on to Dan Louders, who wasn't able to complete either front or back end on his first attempt.
Notice there's no more umbrellas up in the crowd right there. Rain's kind of mellowed out. Obviously, it's still muddy, but it's going to be a little bit easier visibility for the riders.
Oh, excuse me. This is Josh Mueller in the 128.
Another Harley-Davidson. Not bad, not bad.
A good attack to the moguls.
Yep. There we go. Yeah.
Whoa! 13.797.
If he could pull off a quick backside.
This is the Josh Mueller that we are used to seeing. Like I said earlier in the show, we did a feature with him, Harley-Davidson and X Games Aspen for the Snow Hill Climb. And he's a very dominant rider, and that was what I'm used to seeing Josh Mueller be.
Well, he put it down right there. I know we talked about if the rain letting off was going to change their times, and it looks like it is changing their times. They may be getting a little more warmed up. The track may be getting a little bit more ridden in. But the rain calming down is getting better visibility. A little bit easier to stay grippy on the track.
So Josh joins Logan Sapala in the sub-14 club on that front end. And as you see right now, he's sizing it up. And Lance, your sage advice again would
Go
be...
left. Stay left. Oh, he's liking the right. He picked right. Hopefully he picked right, but is aiming left. But again, I'm not down there. I'm just a viewer looking at it from a screen.
So he's going to need something in the low 2-second range here to potentially push Logan Sapala. And I believe, I don't have that official top 3 in front of me at the moment, but I think if he can even get this thing in the 3s, he might take over second place.
Here it is. I think he can do it. He looks so confident in the last stage of the race.
Yeah, there we see. Okay, Logan Sapala, the 15.818. So that gives you an idea if he could somehow get this right at that 2-second mark, he might win this thing outright. I don't know if he can get there, but he has a very realistic shot. Lancelot at second place.
Yep. stayed left.
It's
Went up, but he
2 and
forced
some
his bike
change.
to the left. 2
A
and some change.
2.8. Let's see if it's
2.8.
enough to put.
So a 2.8, so that's not enough to take over from Sapala, but that should be enough to get him into second place. Wow, what a second run for Josh Mueller.
So a total of 16.
So we move our attention to the 60 by Dan Dricken.
Another Harley-Davidson ripping up. I love this bike right here. It's kind of got some Harley drag pipes on it. Harley tank. Looks like a Honda seat, maybe some Honda wheels.
Got a little squirrely, but he's able to hold on. Oh, no, he was out of bounds.
Yep, he missed that last jump, so they're going to give him a 60 on that one.
Round number 2. I just said a minute ago you were totally off the radar. Round number 1 with the 22nd run. What happened earlier in the day?
So Dan Dricken, unfortunately, is going to have to settle for a 60. Was hoping to see him best his run one time of 20.318. Not going to be the case out here today. So this back end was really going to be just for him, for pride, for the fans out here.
Yep. And just, you know, if he beats one of his buddies, at least the back time score, he can
bragging
on
rights.
him, you know?
Yeah. Some people wondered if this was a no flex zone. That's not the case.
No, this is not the case here.
Josh Mueller, a solid performance just now for your second pass. It's looking like it's going to be second place for you. You've got to be excited at the 115th anniversary of Harley-Davidson.
Yeah, I just had to pull something off, and it worked. And I'm glad to get second with it.
Talk about the course conditions. How was it on your second pass versus the first pass when it was raining?
It's slippery, but it's getting better. It's getting chewed up more, you get more traction, and make it happen.
Awesome. Well, great job, Mueller. 128 taking it, possibly second here. We will find out here shortly once these guys wrap it up.
Nice. Well, thank you, Diana. And like I said, he said it's getting a little more chewed up, and since it is drying out a little bit, he's getting a lot more traction.
So there we see Dan Dricken. We turn our attention now, though, to our final rider here in the class. Joel Faldy.
All right, so Drayton's
Now, Joel was incredibly fast on his first run. If you remember, he was under 16 seconds here on this part of the course, and then was just over 2.5 on the back end. What's he got for an encore lens?
I don't know. It's going to be tough to beat. We'll see.
Oh, what a shot. No problem with the moguls.
Yep. On the gas.
Oh my goodness, he bests his run one score of 14.114. Whoa.
He's going to beat his back score. He's got the confidence.
Ooh,
he's got the energy. He's waking up. The track's getting better. Let's see. Look, it looks like he's riding his bike down the course right now.
Little Switzerland turning into the Joel show out here this afternoon.
One of the only riders to actually ride his open bike class down to the back side of the hill. All right, so he's checking it out.
I love it. Really lining this thing up.
He didn't even look at the other lines.
Well, and to your dismay, because I think you've just been saying left all day long, and it doesn't seem like the riders care.
I think that they have to go left when they get to the top.
no way that Foley could turn in 1 second ride. But he could turn in a 2.5 second ride.
Just lining it up.
So Joel is our final rider of the day here at the hill climb. Can we go out with a bang?
Clicks into second gear.
Can he jump into the top 3? If he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it right now.
Wow. Cakewalk.
We turn to the top, a 2.3.
2.3. Wow.
That's some great scores.
Oh my goodness. And Joel might have catapulted himself into second place. Was that enough?
16.51.
It was. He leapfrogs Josh Mueller to take over second place on the final run of the day.
Look at that. He's stoked. I would be too. Last chance and you one up yourself.
Just a banger of a last run. Oh my goodness. Well, let's send it down to Diana Dahlgren.
Congratulations, Logan Cipala, pulling the victory here today. You've got to be so excited for the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't thank Harley-Davidson enough for putting on such an awesome event for us to come and race this weekend. It totally blew my expectations out of the water. The hills were a blast, and it was a really cool format that we've never raced before.
You succeeded out of loads of riders here today on the hill. What kind of riding background are you coming from to pull together all the skills needed to get through this hill climb?
From about age 3 to 15, I did almost nothing but hill climb, and then after that, I started racing moto and hare scrambles a lot, and it just keep progressing the more I got to ride.
Well, wonderful. Well, what is next on your docket? Are we going to see you back at the X Games?
I sure hope so. I can't wait for X Games this year. I hope it happens.
Well, he is your #1 man here today. He's the man to beat at hill climb. Hopefully we'll see him at X Games wintertime. And Logan Cipala, congratulations. Guys, take it away.
Logan goes 2 for 2, and you hear him talk about the versatility in his riding. Wu-Tang Financial, they always say, time to diversify. And he does just that. He rides in 2 different classes and wins both of them outright. And from the hills of Little Switzerland to the beach, out on the water. I can't wait for this one, Lance. We're heading out to Bradford Beach. Don't go anywhere. 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central tonight. Keep it locked in here to watch the guys hit the beach. Lance, final thoughts here from a wonderful day of hill climbing?
Great stuff.
Well, that's going to do it again. Congratulations to all of our competitors, but it was really the Logan Cipala show, going 2 for 2 in 2 different classes. He was absolutely outstanding. For Diana Dahlgren, Lance Corey, I'm Brandon Graham. We'll see you in just a little bit out at the beach.